मगर महाराजा के जन्मदिन पर छुट्टी नहीं मनाई जाती थी। बताओ मुझे, मनाई जाती थी भाई? मनाई जाती थी। मनोज जी ने महाराजा जी के जन्मदिन को छुट्टी घोषित कर उनका जो योगदान है उसको श्रद्धांजलि देने का काम किया। मित्रों, मैं आज जब यहां आया हूं तब वीर बंदा बहादुर को भी याद करना चाहता हूं। ये उन्हीं की जन्मभूमि है और आज मैं आपको बताने आया हूं मित्रों कि गुर्जर, बकरवाल और विशेषकर मेरे पहाड़ी भाइयों की चिंता मोदी जी देश भर में सर्वप्रथम इस क्षेत्र की चिंता करते हैं। मैं आगे इसकी बात बताऊंगा। मित्रों, मैं जब यहां आया हूं तब 70 साल जिन लोगों ने कश्मीर में राज किया, ये 3 परिवारों ने राज किया। लोकतंत्र तो आजाद हुआ तब से आया था, मगर लोकतंत्र का मतलब उन्होंने अपने परिवारों में बना दिया था। मुझे बताओ मेरे पहाड़ी भाइयों बहनों, मेरे गुर्जर बकरवाल भाइयों बहनों, आपको कभी भी ग्राम पंचायत, तहसील पंचायत, जिला पंचायत का अधिकार मिला था क्या? अरे जोर से बोलो, मिला था क्या? उन्होंने लोकतंत्र का, जमहूरियत का मतलब निकाल दिया। हमारे ही कच्चे पक्के जो है उनको सुख से रहना, पीढ़ियों तक शासन करना। देश में सरकार बदली, 2014 से नरेंद्र मोदी जी प्रधानमंत्री बने। मोदी जी ने सबसे पहले पंचायत के चुनाव कराए और 19 के बाद तहसील पंचायत, जिला पंचायत के चुनाव कराए। मित्रों, आज जो पहले 3 परिवार के पास था, इसकी जगह आज 30,000 लोगों के पास जम्मू कश्मीर का शासन आया है। मित्रों, 30,000 लोगों के पास। मित्रों, मोदी जी ने 5 अगस्त 2019 को एक महत्वपूर्ण फैसला दिया और धारा 370 और 35 से उखाड़ कर फेंक। सब लोग विरोध करते थे। मुझे एक बात बताओ, ये धारा 370 35 से न जाती तो ट्राइबल रिजर्वेशन मिलता क्या? अरे यार जोर से बोलो, मिलता क्या? ये आयोग जो बनाया हमारे एमपी साहब ने, वो आयोग बनता क्या? धारा 370 को हटाने से यहां पिछड़ों को, दलितों को, आदिवासियों को और पहाड़ियों को अपना अधिकार मिलने वाला है। यहां पर सफाई कर्मचारी, उनका कोई अधिकार नहीं था। सफाई कर्मचारियों को भी उनका अधिकार मिला। एसटी के मेरे भाई बहन यहां बैठे हैं, उनको एट्रोसिटी का अधिकार नहीं था। एट्रोसिटी का अधिकार भी नरेंद्र मोदी साहब ने दिया। यहां पर माइनॉरिटी एक्ट भी नहीं था। माइनॉरिटी एक्ट का अधिकार भी मोदी जी ने यहां पर दिया है। ये लोग जो हाय तौबा करते हैं ना, उनके मन में है ये मेरे पहाड़ी भाई जितना दब कर रहे उतना अच्छा है, हमारे परिवार की दुकान चलती है। मैं आज कहने आया हूं, आप लोगों ने भारत की सीमाओं की सुरक्षा करी है। अब वो दिन लग गए कि आपके अधिकारों को कोई दबा पाएगा। ये नरेंद्र मोदी की सरकार इतना कहना चाहता हूं कि 3 परिवार से मोदी जी ने जमहूरियत को 30,000 लोगों तक पहुंचा है। जमहूरियत का मतलब था पहले अपने चट्टे बट्टे जैसे 87 विधायक, 6 सांसद और 3 परिवार। इसमें 8 लोग शुमार होते थे भाई, जरा जोर से बोलो, होते थे क्या? होते थे क्या? 2014 के बाद मोदी जी ने माताओं बहनों को भी अधिकार दिया, मेरे ट्राइबल भाइयों बहनों को भी अधिकार दिया, और अब बारी पहाड़ियों की है। परिसीमन आयोग के नियमों के अनुसार नहीं किया था। पहली बार आजादी के बाद परिसीमन हुआ और एक पहाड़ी क्षेत्र की सीटों में बढ़ोतरी हुई है भाई, बढ़ोतरी। परिसीमन के कारण रजौरी, पूंछ, डोडा, किश्तवाड़ जिन लोगों को अन्याय होता था, वो अन्याय को मोदी जी ने एक झटके में परिसीमन की प्रक्रिया शुरू कर समाप्त कर दिया। मित्रों, यहां सालों से लखनपुर टोल टैक्स का बूथ लगा था, मालूम है ना? अरे जोर से बोलो, मालूम है ना? अब सीमेंट जो भारत के अन्य क्षेत्रों से आती थी उस पर टोल टैक्स, लोहा आएगा टोल टैक्स, खाने पीने की चीजें आएगी टोल टैक्स। महंगाई किसकी बढ़ती थी भाई? आप लोगों की बढ़ती थी ना। मोदी जी ने टोल टैक्स को समाप्त कर महंगाई को कंट्रोल करने का काम किया है। ये तीन परिवारों ने भ्रष्टाचार करने में कोई चीज नहीं छोड़ी। मुझे बताओ माताओं, भाइयों, बहनों, आज मोदी जी पूरे जम्मू कश्मीर के 27 लाख परिवार को 5 लाख तक का स्वास्थ्य का पूरा खर्चा दे रहे हैं। 70 साल में 3 परिवारों ने दिया गया। जोर से बोले, दिया गया। आपको उनको पूछना चाहिए, नहीं पूछना चाहिए कि क्यों नहीं दिया भाई? पूछना चाहिए, नहीं पूछना चाहिए? पूछोगे? मैं बता देता हूं क्यों नहीं दिया। क्योंकि जो कुछ भी पैसा आता था वो भ्रष्टाचार कर घर ले जाते थे। आपके लिए पैसा ही नहीं बचता था, कहां से आपके आरोग्य की चिंता करें? ये मोदी जी ने ढेर सारी नई शुरुआतें की है, मैं बाद में इस पर भी आता हूं। मित्रों, करप्शन को कंट्रोल करने के लिए एंटी करप्शन ब्यूरो बनाया गया। विसल ब्लोअर एक्ट को यहां लागू कर दिया गया। उमंग के माध्यम से आपके मोबाइल से फरियाद लेने की शुरुआत की गई। सतर्क नागरिक मोबाइल एप्लीकेशन खोल दिया गया। विजिलेंस की ऑफिस खोल दी गई और इलेक्ट्रॉनिक विजिलेंस क्लियरेंस की सिस्टम भी आ गई। माताओं, भाइयों, बहनों, पूंछ हो, रजौरी हो, अपना जम्मू हो के घाटी हो, सबसे ज्यादा रोजगारी हमारे जम्मू कश्मीर में अगर कहीं से है तो मुझे बताओ पर्यटन से है या नहीं है? जरा जोर से बोलो, पर्यटन से रोजगारी आती है या नहीं आती है? मैं आज आपको एक आंकड़ा कहने आया हूं। आज तक आजादी के 75 साल में कभी भी इतने पर्यटक जम्मू कश्मीर में नहीं आए हैं। जनवरी 22 से लेकर आज तक 1,62,00,000 पर्यटक हमारे जम्मू कश्मीर के अंदर आए हैं। 70 साल से हमारी मांग थी कि यहां से अंतर्राष्ट्रीय उड़ान शुरू हो, नहीं होता था। अब मोदी जी ने श्रीनगर से शारजाह तक सीधी फ्लाइट शुरू कर दी। रात को किसी को जाना है तो जम्मू और श्रीनगर से रात्रि की फ्लाइट नहीं थी। मोदी जी ने जम्मू और कश्मीर में, श्रीनगर में रात्रि की फ्लाइट करने का भी फैसला ले लिया। और ये कहते थे कि धारा 370 हटाओगे तो खून की नदियां बह जाएगी। मैं आपको हिसाब देने आया हूं। पहले कांग्रेस के समय में 2006 से 2023 में जो आतंकवादी घटनाएं हुई वो 4,766 थी। मित्रों, कितनी थी? 4,766 आतंकी घटनाएं हुई थी। और ये जाने के बाद 370 जाने के बाद 2019 से 22 में 4,766 से घटकर सिर्फ 721 रह गई है। मित्रों, 721
पास होती थी, 1200 से घटकर 137 आकर
कठोर मुहिम चला। ये इसका परिणाम है। और मित्रों, पहले जो सुरक्षा बलों की मृत्यु होती थी वो 1200 के आसपास होती थी। 1200 से घटकर 137 आकर रह गई है। यही बताता है कि जम्मू कश्मीर सुरक्षित हुआ। पहले मुझे बताओ भाइयों बहनों, आए दिन पथराव के समाचार अखबार में आप पढ़ते थे या नहीं पढ़ते थे? बोलो भाई, जोर से बोलो। सुना ही नहीं पड़ा? पढ़ते थे या नहीं पढ़ते थे? अब पथराव के समाचार आते हैं क्या? आते हैं क्या? मोदी जी ने युवाओं के हाथ से पत्थर लेकर लैपटॉप थमाने का काम किया है, नौकरी देने का काम किया। ये परिवर्तन जम्मू कश्मीर के लिए बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है। माताओं, भाइयों, बहनों, मैं रजौरी आया हूं। मैं आपको कहना चाहता हूं, रजौरी में मेडिकल कॉलेज की आपने कभी कल्पना भी की थी क्या? जरा जोर से बोलो, की थी क्या? रजौरी में मोदी जी ने मेडिकल कॉलेज भेजकर न केवल यहां के बच्चों को डॉक्टर बनने का मौका दिया है, मेरे पहाड़ी भाइयों के लिए मुफ्त में इलाज हो इसकी व्यवस्था यहीं पर कर दी है। आपको किसी को जम्मू जाना नहीं पड़ेगा। इसके साथ साथ कठुआ, डोडा, अनंतनाग, बारामूला और अपना रजौरी, ये सारे मेडिकल कॉलेज बनाए सिर्फ रजौरी के लिए। 139 करोड़ रुपया मोदी जी ने खर्च करने का काम किया है। रजौरी, धन्ना मंडी और सूरनकोट रोड 480 करोड़ रुपया खर्च कर इसको आगे बढ़ाया। बॉर्डर एरिया डेवलपमेंट एजुकेशन प्लान के तहत 21 करोड़ और 28 योजनाएं मोदी जी ने भेजी है। और प्रधानमंत्री ग्राम सड़क योजना के तहत लगभग 3885 किलोमीटर के रोड बनाने का निर्णय किया है। जम्मू पूंछ राजमार्ग को 4 लेन का, अब जम्मू पूंछ राजमार्ग इसके लिए 1337 करोड़ रुपया मोदी जी ने किया है। और मैं एक महत्वपूर्ण आंकड़ा बोलना चाहता हूं। माताएं, आप ज्यादा बहनें, आप ताली बजाकर स्वागत करना। ये अपने पहाड़ी क्षेत्र में 20,000 से ज्यादा घरों में पहली बार बिजली भेजने का काम हमारे नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने किया है। बिजली भेजने का 75 साल के बाद यहां की आबादी में रोशनी आई है। पहले रोशनी उनके लिए होती थी, अब रोशनी माताओं के घर में बिजली पहुंचाने के लिए हमने करी है। पूरे जम्मू कश्मीर में 3,80,000 घरों में रोशनी पहुंचाई है। प्रधानमंत्री विकास पैकेज, इसके तहत ढेर सारे काम हमने किए हैं। मित्रों, मैं आज आप सभी को कहने आया हूं कि पूरे जम्मू क्षेत्र के विकास के लिए हमने ढेर सारे कदम जम्मू क्षेत्र के विकास के लिए हमने उठाए हैं। इसकी सूची बहुत लंबी है, बहुत कुछ तो मैं बोल नहीं सकता, मगर कुछ जरूर बताना चाहता हूं। मित्रों, कीरू योजना के तहत 624 मेगावाट पन बिजली उत्पन्न होगी। कार एचईटी के तहत 540 मेगावाट, शाहपुर कंडी के तहत 2793 मेगावाट और पूंछ के तहत 90 मेगावाट। एम्स जम्मू में लाए, आईआईटी जम्मू में आई है, भारतीय प्रबंधन संस्थान IIM वो भी जम्मू में आया है, भारतीय जनसंचार संस्थान IIMC वो भी जम्मू में आया है। नीट भी, हमारी बच्चियों को नीट भी जम्मू में आया है। मेडिकल कॉलेज बनाए और GMC इंस्टीट्यूशन भी जम्मू में लाए हैं। ढेर सारे विकास के काम मोदी जी यहां किए हैं और ये विकास का काम चलने वाला है। मित्रों, आज मैं एक दूसरी बात भी बताना चाहता हूं। आजादी से लेकर आज तक पूरे जम्मू और कश्मीर में 15,000 करोड़ का औद्योगिक निवेश आया। कितना आया था जरा बोलिए भाई, बोलना पड़ेगा। 15,000 करोड़ का कितना आया था? जोर से बोले, कितना? 2019 से अब तक ये 3 साल में, 72 साल में 15,000 करोड़ और ये 3 साल में 56,000 करोड़ रुपया इन्वेस्टमेंट मेरे जम्मू और कश्मीर में आया है, क्योंकि मोदी जी ने एक औद्योगिक नीति की घोषणा की। इससे जम्मू और कश्मीर के सभी युवाओं को रोजगारी का तांता लगने वाला है और ढेर सारे सहायता समूह बनाए हैं, 4500 से ज्यादा यूथ क्लब बनाए हैं और कई सारी योजनाएं की हैं। लगभग 2 लाख लोगों को जम्मू और कश्मीर में अपना घर देने का काम किया है। 5 लाख घरों में नल से जल पहुंचाने का काम किया है। पोषण अभियान, मातृवंदना योजना और स्वास्थ्य मिशन, इसको बहुत अच्छे तरीके से हमने आगे लगाया है। माताओं, भाइयों, बहनों, हम लोग में यहाँ पर हमारे 3 सांसद बैठे, वो हमेशा लगे रहते कि अमित भाई ये अटका है जरा करा दो, LG साहब ये अटका है करा दो। प्रधानमंत्री जी के वहां पर भी जाते हैं और ये सबके कारण ये जम्मू कश्मीर का विकास मोदी जी की प्रायोरिटी है, इसके कारण इतना विकास हुआ है। और मित्रों, मैं आप लोगों को कहना चाहता हूं, मेरे पहाड़ी भाई आए हैं, गुर्जर बकरवाल आए, मुझे बताओ भाई, आप लोगों को अब तक अन्याय हुआ है या नहीं हुआ? जोर से बोलो, हुआ है या नहीं हुआ? विकास का काम तो भेज दिया, मगर पहले आपको आरक्षण मिलता था क्या? मिलता था? गुर्जर बकरवाल को भी पहले मिलता था क्या? मोदी जी ने आरक्षण के लिए 370 हटाकर रास्ता खुला कर दिया है। 370 हटने के बाद शेड्यूल ट्राइब का आरक्षण का रास्ता खुला है। और मित्रों, मैं आप लोगों को कहूंगा, जस्टिस शर्मा का कमीशन बना है। जस्टिस शर्मा ने अपनी सिफारिशें भेज दी है और वो सिफारिशों में मेरे पहाड़ी, बकरवाल और गुर्जर तीनों को आरक्षण की सिफारिश की। मित्रों, मैं आपको कहने आया हूं, देश के प्रधानमंत्री का बहुत बड़ा मन है। ये सिफारिशें जो भेजी है उसकी एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव प्रक्रिया समाप्त होते ही गुर्जर, बकरवाल और पहाड़ी भाइयों को आरक्षण का लाभ मिलेगा। भाइयों बहनों, ये आपके जो मोदी मोदी के नारे हैं, आपका जो मोदी जी के प्रति प्यार है, यही मोदी जी को ऊर्जा देता है। और मैं साथ में बताना चाहता हूं, कुछ लोग नहीं चाहते कि इस क्षेत्र के अंदर शांति बनी रहे। उन्होंने गुर्जर और बकरवाल भाइयों को उकसाना शुरू किया कि हमारे पहाड़ी भाई आएंगे तो गुर्जर बकरवाल का कम हो जाएगा। मैं कहता हूं कि पहाड़ी भी आएंगे और गुर्जर बकरवाल का 1% भी कम नहीं होगा। भाइयों बहनों, मोदी जी इस क्षेत्र का सबसे अच्छा विकास करना चाहते हैं, क्योंकि वो जानते हैं पीर पंजाब की पहाड़ियों को सदियों तक आपने सुरक्षित रखा है। आपके पुरखों ने भारत की सीमाओं की सुरक्षा के लिए अपना लहू बहा और आप खुशहाल हो। देश के बाकी हिस्सों की तरह एक रजौरी और पुंछ के मेरे युवा भी रोजगारी से युक्त हो, यहां भी उद्यम लगे, यहां भी आरक्षण का फायदा मिले, यहां से भी एमएलए एमपी चुनकर जाए और किस्मत हो तो कोई प्रधानमंत्री भी बन जाए, मुख्यमंत्री भी। माताओं, भाइयों बहनों, मोदी जी पूरे जम्मू कश्मीर का संपूर्ण विकास चाहते हैं। मैं आप सबसे विनती करने आया हूं कि 3 परिवारों के शासन से एक बार जम्मू कश्मीर को मुक्ति दिला देना। दिलाओगे क्या? अरे जोर से बोलो, दिलाओगे क्या? मोदी जी के हाथ मजबूत करोगे? जोर से बोलो, करोगे? तो इतनी दोम धरती धूप के अंदर 1.5 घंटा लेट भी माताएं बहनें भी बैठी हैं, युवा भी दूर दूर तक दिखाई पड़ता है। आप सब लोग बैठे, इसके लिए मैं आपका हाथ जोड़कर धन्यवाद और अभिनंदन करना चाहता हूं और फिर से अंत में भरोसा दिलाना चाहता हूं, आपके अधिकारों को ये 3 परिवारों ने अब तक आपसे छीना है। ये मोदी सरकार है, आपके अधिकारों को कोई नहीं छीन सकता। इतना वादा कर मेरी बात को समाप्त करता हूं। मेरे साथ बोलिए, भारत माता की, भारत माता की, वंदे वंदे वंदे।
धन्यवाद महोदय और धन्यवाद प्रस्ताव आप सबके समक्ष रखने के लिए।
Amity has been ranked India's #1 private university for the 10th year by India Today, a testimony to Amity's world-class education whilst imbibing values and sanskars in students.
As Union Home Minister Amit Shah arrives at Jammu and Kashmir for a 3-day visit, he is scheduled to hold a rally at Rajouri. along with foundations of several projects to be laid at the convention centre in Jammu. As a poster war brews between the Congress and the BJP in Karnataka, the BJP has launched posters over Congress leader Siddaramaiah having helped the PFI on previous occasions.
Time to once again action our destiny. Focus on mission superpower. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
Jammu and Kashmir's Director General of Prisons, Hemant Lohia, was found murdered at his residence in Jammu, with police suspecting his domestic help as the main culprit. The servant in question is presently on the run. As Union Home Minister Amit Shah arrives at Jammu and Kashmir for a 3-day visit, he is scheduled to hold a rally at Rajouri, along with foundations of several projects to be laid at the convention centre in Jammu. As a poster war brews between the Congress and the BJP in Karnataka, the BJP has launched posters over Congress leader Siddaramaiah having helped the PFI on previous occasions.
Time to once again action our destiny. Focus on mission superpower. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
Jammu and Kashmir's Director General of Prisons, Hemant Lohia, was found murdered at his residence in Jammu, with police suspecting.
Viewers, we are live and breaking. We just heard Amit Shah addressing that historic public rally in Rajouri. Now let's have a look at what else is making news from across India. Getting in an update on Mulayam Singh Yadav's health. Medanta has informed that his health is still critical right now. He has been shifted to the ICU of Medanta Hospital. Treatment is going on under the supervision. Interior services have been suspended in Jammu and Rajouri as a precautionary measure, as Union Home Minister Amit Shah has now scheduled a rally at Rajouri. He just spoke there in that historic rally. Jammu and Kashmir Police released a statement in connection with the murder of Jammu and Kashmir DG HK Lohia, with the servant Yasir being named as the main accused of the case. The police further stated that there was no terror angle apparent in the case, as the weapon of offence had been recovered. As the crackdown on the PFI continues in the country, with at least 4 members of organisation arrested in New Delhi, a message alleged to be by the PFI with a message reading "We will be back" was found at Mangaluru. A DMK functionary was named as a raison of the woman committing suicide in the district of Pudukkottai in Tamil Nadu. The DMK functionary and his wife allegedly have threatened to send her to prison under a murder case. The BJP held protests there demanding an arrest of the people mentioned in the suicide note. The police eventually acted on the case and suspended 3 police officers, including the wife of the DMK functionary. A special PMLA court extended Shiv Sena MP Sanjay Raut's judicial custody, thereby denying his bail plea. His custody has been extended till the 10th of October in connection with the Patra Chaul land scam case as a result. Viewers, we continue to be live and breaking. Much more coming up on the other side. DG prisons found dead under mysterious circumstances. Main suspect, house help Yasir, arrested. Drilling is on. And Delhi LG versus Kejriwal face-off intensifies. LG now alleges irregularities by Aam Aadmi Party government in Discom schemes, demands probe.
As a poster war brews between the Congress and the BJP in Karnataka, the BJP has launched posters over Congress leader Siddaramaiah, having helped the PFI on previous occasions.
Time to once again action our destiny. Focus on mission superpower. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
Jammu and Kashmir's Director General of Prisons, Hemant Lohia, was found murdered at his residence in Jammu, with police suspecting his domestic help as the main culprit. The servant in question is presently on the run. As a poster war brews between the Congress and the BJP in Karnataka, the BJP has launched posters over Congress leader Siddaramaiah, having helped the PFI on previous occasions.
Time to once again action our destiny. Focus on mission superpower. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
Jammu and Kashmir's Director General of Prisons, Hemant Lohia, was found murdered at his residence in Jammu, with police suspecting his domestic help as the main culprit. The servant in question is presently on the run. As a poster war brews between the Congress and the BJP in Karnataka, the BJP has launched posters over Congress leader Siddaramaiah, having helped the PFI on previous occasions.
Tractor trolley carrying pilgrims overturned in Ghatampur area in Kanpur.
ये धमाका और जो पुल है वो ढह चुका है.
We are now seeing lathi charge taking place on all the protesters. They want strong action against the perpetrator.
Time to once again action our destiny. Focus on mission superpower. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
Jammu and Kashmir's Director General of Prisons, Hemant Lohia, was found murdered at his residence in Jammu, with police suspecting his domestic help as the main culprit. The servant in question is presently on the run. As a poster war brews between the Congress and the BJP in Karnataka, the BJP has launched
Time to once again action our destiny. Focus on mission superpower. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
Viewers, even as Gujarat dons the colours of Navratri, even External Affairs Minister S.J. Shankar could not hold himself back and participated in Navratri celebrations. Take a look.
Time to once again action our destiny. Focus on mission superpower. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
Jammu and Kashmir's Director General of Prisons, Hemant Lohia, was found murdered at his residence in Jammu, with police suspecting his domestic help as the main culprit. The servant in question is presently on the run.
Tractor trolley carrying pilgrims overturned in Ghatampur area in Kanpur.
ये धमाका और जो पुल है वो ढह चुका है.
We are now seeing lathi charge taking place on all the protesters. They want strong action against the perpetrator.
As a poster war brews between the Congress and the BJP in Karnataka, the BJP has launched posters over Congress leader Siddaramaiah, having helped the PFI on previous occasions.
Time to once again action our destiny. Focus on mission superpower. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
Jammu and Kashmir's Director General of Prisons, Hemant Lohia, was found murdered at his residence in Jammu, with police suspecting his domestic help as the main culprit. The servant in question is presently on the run.
Tractor trolley carrying pilgrims overturned in Ghatampur area in Kanpur.
ये धमाका और जो पुल है वो ढह चुका है.
We are now seeing lathi charge taking place on all the protesters. They want strong action against the perpetrator.
As a poster war brews between the Congress and the BJP in Karnataka, the BJP has launched posters over Congress leader Siddaramaiah, having helped the PFI on previous occasions.
Steady amid recession. Steady amid inflation. Goal is global dominance. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
Amit Shah kickstarts historic Kashmir visit. Hectic parlays lined up.
जब जब भारत पर खतरा आया, ये मेरे पहाड़ी भाई भूजल पकड़वाओ, चट्टान की तरह दीवार बनकर खड़े रहे.
Integrated, unity and nation first. Amit Shah's big message resonates across the valley.
आज की ये रैली उन लोगों को जवाब है जो कहते थे धारा 370 जाएगी तो खून की नदियां बह जाएगी.
Big rallies, key meetings and mega projects. Amit Shah's big Kashmir visit now rattles Gupkar. DG Prisons found dead under mysterious circumstances. Main suspect, house help Yasir, arrested. Grilling is underway. Delhi LG versus Kejriwal face-off intensifies. LG now alleges irregularities by the Aam Aadmi Party government in DISCOM schemes and demand probe. Very good afternoon. You're watching the news at 2 p.m. I'm Suesha Saman joining you live on the broadcast. We continue to get you all the latest updates on Amit Shah's visit to the valley. But first up, this latest input that is just coming in of an avalanche that has hit Uttarakhand. 28 mountaineers are feared to be trapped. Uttarakhand Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami has said that the rescue operations are underway. District Administration, NDRF, SDRF, Army and ITBP are currently engaged in the rescue operations. We'll also try and get you latest voices that are coming in on this. Ankit will be joining us from the Mumbai newsroom to give us details of the rescue and relief operations that have now been inducted. Ankit, I believe you're already connected. As we stay with those pictures, give us a sense of what is happening. Go
Absolutely, Suesha. This avalanche has struck in the Garhwal range of the Himalayas in Uttarakhand. It is at a peak that is called Draupadi's Danda 2. That is a 5,700 meter tall full-blown peak of the Himalayas that mountaineers routinely attempt to climb. There was a camp that was being held there by the Nehru Mountaineering Institute. 28 of these mountaineers are feared to be trapped. There you can see Mount Draupadi Ka Danda 2. It is just a short while south of Gangotri. That tells you that in this time of the year, like this map shows you, it is an area that is totally covered with snow. From the reaches of this mountain, also a very significant glacier set to begin, Suesha. So you can see that in this season, in October, when the rains are receding, when the snow is about to be inclement, it's likely that there were a number of avalanches there. Because of this, one particular avalanche has struck this particular mountain and 28 mountaineers are said to be stranded as a result. Now, our information comes from a number of senior ministers, notably the Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, who also says that he is anguished by the loss of precious lives due to the landslide. So we don't have a total of the number of lives that could have been lost in this, but certainly the Raksha Mantri is indicating that there has been a update of casualties. He also says that he has spoken to the Uttarakhand Chief Minister Pushkar Dhami and he has taken stock of the situation. Rescue operations are underway to help the mountaineers who are still trapped. He also says that he has instructed the Indian Air Force to mount rescue and relief operations. He's praying for everyone's safety and well-being. So this is the update that has come in. Also, like you told us, National Disaster Response Force, State Disaster Response Force have both been called into action. Apart from that, the Raksha Mantri has asked the Indian Air Force to assist in these operations. I dare say if there are 28 mountaineers stuck in an avalanche, then they will have to be rescued very, very quickly. One doesn't really know at this point what is the exact location and the topography. One hopes that the authorities are aware of this. This is once again the area. It's a peak that is called Mount Draupadi Ka Danda 2. It is, as per inputs, a 5,700 meter tall mountain. So it is a very high peak. And there are a number of mountaineers who routinely talk about having scaled this. The mountain itself is given a short form. It is called DKD2 as well. And from the visuals that we've seen from the people who have posted from its very top, it is a mountain that overlooks the Garhwal Himalayas. Like we said, just a short while north of this mountain is Gangotri, the source of the Ganges. And we know that it is a perennial river that flows all months of the year. And so that tells us that this is probably an area that is decked up and covered in snow for a large portion of the 365 days in the year. And it is possible. We have seen how just a few days ago also there was an avalanche in Uttarakhand. It is avalanche season over there. And this particular avalanche has trapped about 28 people, Suesha, from the Nehru Mountaineering Institute.
Absolutely, Ankit, and very unfortunate. These are young mountaineers. They are trainees at the Nehru Mountaineering Institute in Uttarkashi. And this incident that has occurred, like you said, it is avalanche season in Uttarakhand at this point. But really to get a sense of how the authorities may have had inputs on the very fact that it could be dicey to conduct this climb. However, we are trying to get information on that. Ankit, if you can throw some light on that. And now, of course, the relief operations, extremely important to rescue as many people as possible. And ITBP personnel, NDRF, SDRF, Army, along with a team of NIM there to rescue the trainees trapped in the avalanche. But really, how long could the operation take, and what are the challenges that the rescue personnel may just be facing?
Well, one, I think, really needs to first of all locate these mountaineers. There are 28 of them. They could all be in the same place, or they could be in different places also. The avalanche could have cut them off, or they could be underneath it as well. And so you have a short window in which to rescue them, Suesha, if knowledge of avalanches serves right. The Defense Minister being seized of this is an important thing. He has spoken about casualties. We don't know the true figure of that at this moment, but he has also roped in the Indian Air Force to assist with these operations. And at those kind of heights, at 5,000 plus meters altitude, it is extremely important to get help and support in the form of helicopters to them very, very quickly. This, I can only say, would be the first and foremost way to rescue all these people who are trapped, the 28 mountaineers who are trapped at the Draupadi Ka Danda 2 mountain, a 5,770 meter tall peak. That's what we are told, DKD2. It is a destination for mountaineers and aspirants of mountain climbing. It is in the area, slightly the lower reaches of the Himalayas, one of the tallest peaks in the Garhwal Himalayas. North above it are the main Himalayan ranges, which also contain about, I think, 7 out of the 8 tallest peaks in the world, including Mount Everest. So this is really a hub for mountaineering. And it is very unfortunate that this kind of accident has taken place over there. One can't always foretell when avalanches may strike. And so the disaster response forces, they have a short window in which to get to them and to mount a rescue effort. Otherwise, hypothermia begins to set in. All kinds of issues take place, and it becomes very difficult to find people.
Absolutely, it does, Ankit, and we can only imagine how tough it must be for the rescue personnel to really conduct those operations. Then again, Ankit, if we have a sense of what the weather conditions are like at this point, and how it is set to improve as per the IMD, if it is in the days to come, and most importantly, like you said, that the Defence Minister has asked the teams to ensure that the rescue operations are given utmost priority, and the Chief Minister has also been spoken with. But any updates from the CMO?
Well, at this moment, to the first part of your question, Suesha, the weather forecast says, at least in Gangotri, that it is relatively sunny and clear skies there, and the temperature is about 16 degrees Celsius. One important thing that could help in the rescue efforts is the fact that it is daylight over there. There is a probability that if someone gets there, you have a high degree of visibility, and so if there is anything amiss, you can spot it. Remember, avalanches cause widespread change in the topography. A lot of the things that could have been exposed to the elements may be covered in the snow, and so that is part one of the answer. The other, we know, of course, that the Defence Minister has spoken to the Uttarakhand Chief Minister, and he's taken stock of the situation, and so that is the latest update coming in, that both the centre and the state have jumped into action. Also, the Indian Air Force has been deployed along with the National Disaster Response Force and the State Disaster Response Force. We are really awaiting word from other authorities to tell us about what is the state of the mountaineers who are trapped underneath. Are there any from the party who were not trapped? Is there any line of communication? These are questions that need to be answered very fast for these 28 mountaineers to be located, Suesha.
Very true. And Ankit, I'd also like to mention that the Uttarakhand State Disaster Management Authority, which is a state government body, has also mentioned how they are susceptible to avalanches when we are talking about this particular Himalayan region. And then again, I beg your pardon, of the mountaineers who were conducting this climb. important to also understand how and who they were in touch with on the ground while this climb was happening. And in a scenario like this, where the state government is fairly aware of the fact that an avalanche could occur, since you're also saying that lately it had been happening and this region is susceptible, to conduct rescue operations in an emergency like this, how fast could it be?
Well, one possible answer is that the visuals on our screen, which are of the SDRF personnel that are leaving from Dehradun. They are leaving from the Sahasradhara helipad in Dehradun. You can see that these are SDRF personnel on the screen. They are wearing these yellow t-shirts of the SDRF, and so they have set out. We have the visuals of the helicopter setting off from Dehradun. Now Dehradun is, I think, a couple of I wouldn't know how far it is by helicopter, but that is one very heartening aspect, that the helicopters are already in the air, and so hopefully they'll be closing in on this peak very shortly. After that, a lot depends on the climatic conditions up there at that altitude, whether and how close the helicopters will be able to get. We also know that the Chief Minister is seized and that he has deployed all agencies. He has also shared information regarding the number of mountaineers who are thought to be trapped, that is 28 once again, and he has also updated about his conversation with the Defence Minister Rajnath Singh. This is a developing story, Suesha. We are likely to find out more details in a very breaking fashion, very quick details, but from what we can see right now, the State Disaster Response Force has jumped into action, and they have at least one helicopter has flown out of a helipad near the capital of Uttarakhand, Dehradun, towards this mountain. We have not seen whether they have high altitude gear with them, but of course they are carrying a lot of gear, so one would like to believe that they are fully equipped for this task. I'm sure they are, but I think the clock is ticking. They really need to reach this area very fast, Suesha.
Absolutely, Ankit, and certain reports suggest that 8 of them have been evacuated, 21 people are still stuck. Also, how the Nehru Mountaineering Institute is very much a part of the rescue operations along with the other teams, and they are also now on war footing. 3 choppers, we understand, are doing the recce of the entire area to really see the weather conditions, to see the challenges that the rescue teams will have to face once they are actually on the ground, to be able to remove heaps of snow and rescue as many people as possible. But obviously it is not an easy task, Ankit, and all eyes now on our rescue teams of the NDRF, SDRF and ITBP, and of course the Nehru Mountaineering Institute, of how they'd be able to, bring out these mountaineers from under the snow.
That is precisely the challenge, Suesha. And like you said, we have a breaking update for our viewers. Aside from the one SDRF helicopter we just saw, 2 Cheetah helicopters have also been deployed by the Indian Air Force for rescue and relief operations in the Uttarkashi area. All of the fleets of choppers, all of the other fleets of choppers have been put on standby for any other requirement. This is an official release by the Indian Air Force. So the Indian Air Force has jumped into action. 2 Cheetah helicopters have been deployed already. That tells us that at least a total of 3 helicopters have set off towards the Draupadi mountain in the Garhwal Himalayas, where these mountaineers are feared to be trapped. They are trainees of the Nehru Mountaineering School. 2 of the helicopters are Cheetah helicopters and one of them is an SDRF helicopter. And the latest information that is coming in is that the Indian Air Force has begun its operations. Also, Suesha, it's very important to note that there appear to be the potential of deploying more helicopters also, because all the choppers in the area have been put on standby for requirement and for use by the Indian Air Force in assisting with these rescue operations.
Absolutely. All right, we also have an environmentalist now joining us on the phone line. Mr. Anil, if you can hear me, give us details of the kind of challenges that the rescue teams here could be facing, because we understand the various sides of how the government is aware that this particular region is susceptible to avalanches, and especially of the kind of incidents that have been occurring for the past few days. But now that 28 mountaineers are stuck under the snow, how exactly would it be for the rescue teams to go about?
Well, the only thing one really needs to understand that everything is not being on time. Normally, we have the snowfall at the time when the winter begin, and at least at the time when November, December are the months. And the same snow become the glacier within 2-3 months. Now, the whole thing is, in fact, if this is again a snowfall that came before the time. And if you remember the last time when in rainy, similar avalanche came, it came at the time of February. In fact, this is a climate shift and change kind of a thing. And it is all because of the global warming and global change. You must have seen that we had the rains in October. And what does it mean? The rain was the kind of a rain which you normally receive sometime in July. It is, as a fact is, this is because of the climate change, climate shift. We have late rains and especially this snowfall came at a time when it was not supposed to be. Only snowfall becomes good when it's November, December, and it takes time and it becomes glacier. At the end of the season, when the snowfall comes, it again become an avalanche, and it came also before the time. And plus the factor is that the temperature, which unfortunately is not one which is supposed to be now. So that is all the reason that avalanches will come. The only thing is that we are really supposed to be very serious about the issue, and we cannot take everything so lightly. And that is the reason I am doing this currently a cycle march from Pragati to Prakriti, from Mumbai to Uttarakhand, and undertaking this march just to aware the people that it is ultimately the lifestyle that we have are causing all things of this time. I think it is a collective, we will have to be very serious about the nature.
But also, Mr. Joshi, of course, understanding that these are mountaineers, but they are trainee mountaineers. So there is really still grasping the ropes of knowing the tricks of mountaineering, especially in such regions, because this is a height of 13,000 feet that we are talking about. And given the weather conditions...
in the given circumstances...
Yes, sir. Make your point, please.
We should not allow the mountaineering kind of a thing, because the given circumstances, everybody knows what is all happening in the mountain now. See, the mountain are now became more fragile. What it was 10 years ago, they are more fragile, more susceptible and prone to this kind of things. So I think the government and everybody, I believe, have to be very careful about it.
Absolutely. Everyone does have to be very careful. And this is a point of secondary debate on whether this climb should have been allowed in the first place. But for the moment, the entire focus on the rescue operations that are underway. Thank you, Dr. Joshi, for speaking to Republic. Ankit, if I can come back to you on the very point that as far as the latest in the rescue operations are concerned, it's also being reported that approximately 5 SDRF teams have already left. Like we were talking, that 3 choppers are doing the recce of the entire region. You had also told us about the Indian Air Force statement that had been put out, and how 2 cheetah helicopters have also been deployed in this entire region by the Indian Air Force to conduct the rescue and relief operations. We understand that the Defence Minister is watching very closely and exactly in touch with Chief Minister Dhami. Full priority being given to this rescue operations to be able to pull out as many mountaineers as possible, but very well a chance of casualties as well. Nothing confirmed on that front, and we are hoping everyone is safe, but there could be casualties as well.
Most definitely, Suesha, that is the hope. One piece of good information we have that will bring a little bit of relief is the fact that we are being told that 8 mountaineering trainees have been rescued. There appear to be 21 who are still trapped. This is a bulletin that is coming from the District Disaster Management Center of Uttarakhand. So that is the one ray of hope that we have, which is that 8 mountaineering trainees appear to have been rescued already. They are not exactly sure about the number that remain. They say 21 is an estimate figure, and so we'll really have to wait to find out what more they can tell us. But if 8 are rescued, then at least that signals that they are in the vicinity of where the others could have been trapped, and so that will aid in getting the help to them faster. Like you've been telling us, there have now been a number of choppers that have been deployed both by the State Disaster Response Force and the Indian Air Force. In fact, one of the first things the Chief Minister did in his tweet, he writes that they have asked the army for help. So he also reached out to the defense forces because they operate in that area and they have the right equipment that is used to move and reach these altitudes, these high Himalayan peaks in the Garhwal Himalayas. And so the fact that all the authorities have been brought in and have jumped into action bodes well, but we'll have to wait and watch how it goes. For the moment, Suesha, we can tell our viewers that 21 is the number of mountaineering trainees that they believe are still trapped there. 8 of them have been rescued so far. We have counted a number of cheetah helicopters as well as SDRF helicopters that have been set into motion, that are on their way there. Apart from that, the IAF has also ordered all of the available helicopters in that area to be on standby in case any help is needed. This is the Draupadi Ka Danda peak in the Garhwal Himalayas in Uttarakhand. It is a 5,700 meter tall peak that is routinely visited by mountaineers. This time it happened to be struck by an avalanche. We have seen avalanches take place just this week in Uttarakhand, and then going back in time in the last 2 years, there have been some debilitating avalanches there as well. This is a season that is right before the fresh snows start. So one doesn't really know what is the state of the snowfall there at the moment. The weather report tells us that there are about 16 degrees temperature there. There is sunshine over there, and so that will aid in the rescue efforts because visibility will hopefully be something that is conducive for this rescue effort. Viewers, we are tracking this very closely. There are an estimated 21 mountaineers still trapped there. The rescue operations are on. We'll get you more details in just a few minutes. Stay with us on Republic.
Jammu and Kashmir's Director General of Prisons, Hemant Lohia, was found murdered at his residence in Jammu, with police suspecting his domestic help as the main culprit. The servant in question is presently on the run.
Tractor trolley carrying pilgrims overturned in Ghatampur area in Kanpur.
ये धमाका और जो पुल है वो ढह चुका है.
We are now seeing lathi charge taking place on all the protesters. They want strong action against the perpetrator.
As a poster war brews between the Congress and the BJP in Karnataka, the BJP has launched posters over Congress leader Siddaramaiah, having helped the PFI on previous occasions.
Time to once again action our destiny. Focus on mission superpower. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
Jammu and Kashmir's Director General of Prisons, Hemant Lohia, was found murdered at his residence in Jammu, with police suspecting his domestic help as the main culprit. The servant in question is presently on the run.
Tractor trolley carrying pilgrims overturned in Ghatampur area in Kanpur.
ये धमाका और जो पुल है वो ढह चुका है.
We are now seeing lathi charge taking place on all the protesters. They want strong action against the perpetrator.
as a poster war brews between the Congress and the BJP in Karnataka. The BJP has launched posters over Congress leader Siddaramaiah, having helped the PFI on previous occasions.
Time to once again action our destiny. Focus on mission superpower. Time to once again action our destiny. Focus on mission superpower. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
These are the first indigenously developed light combat helicopters.
The flight, coming in from Iran, from Tehran, there was a bomb threat on board the flight. India stopped the plane from landing in Delhi.
This is one of the major breakdown by the Hyderabad City Police.
Amit Shah kickstarts historic Kashmir visit. Hectic parlays lined up.
जब जब भारत पर खतरा आया, ये मेरे पहाड़ी भाई भूलकर पकड़वाए, चट्टान की तरह दीवार बनकर खड़े रहे.
Integration, unity and nation first. Amit Shah's big message resonates across the valley.
आज की ये रैली उन लोगों को जवाब है जो कहते थे धारा 370 जाएगी तो खून की नदियां बह जाएगी.
Big rallies, key meetings and mega projects. Amit Shah's big Kashmir visit now rattles Gupkar. Jammu's DG prisons found dead under mysterious circumstances. Main suspect house help Yasir arrested and the grilling is on. It's the Delhi LG versus Kejriwal and the face-off has intensified. The Lieutenant Governor now alleges irregularities by the AAP government in DISCOM schemes, demands a probe. Avalanche reported in Uttarakhand, 8 mountaineers rescued, 21 still feared trapped, rescue operations underway. Hello and welcome viewers, I am Ankit Prasad and you are watching Live and Breaking on Republic TV. We are going to be moving to our big story at this point where an avalanche struck Uttarakhand at a mountain called Draupadi Ka Danda 2, which is a 5,700 meter tall peak, and 28 mountaineers were feared trapped in the initial information that came out. Subsequent to that, we are now being told, according to a Uttarakhand government rescue bulletin, that 8 mountaineers have been rescued and there is a continuing operation to rescue 21 others. This is the breaking information right now. There have been various authorities that have been pressed into service, state and central. We have seen both the Chief Minister of Uttarakhand, Pushkar Singh Dhami, as well as Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh tweet about this. Rajnath Singh has indicated that there are casualties, though we do not have a figure on that yet and we do not have confirmation aside from that tweet yet. But we do know that the Indian Air Force has pressed Cheetah helicopters into operations, and in your screens right now are visuals of a State Disaster Response Force helicopter also flying out of a helipad in Dehradun. Now this peak This 5,700 meter tall peak is roughly between Dehradun and Gangotri. It is in the Garhwal Himalayas, and it is a location that is frequented by mountain climbers. In the last few weeks, we have seen how Uttarakhand has come to witness a number of avalanches. In this case, 28 mountaineers of the Nehru Mountaineering Institute were on an expedition over there. They are mountaineering trainees, and they have been trapped. This is the big story coming in right now, viewers. We also have another update now coming in, and the update is that bail has been granted to former Maharashtra Minister Anil Deshmukh. A breaking update coming in from the courts in Mumbai. Anil Deshmukh, NCP leader, former Home Minister of Maharashtra, has been granted bail on the condition of a bond of surety 1 lakh. It has been months that Anil Deshmukh has been in jail. He was arrested by the Enforcement Directorate in a case relating to the allegations made by Parambir Singh against him. Remember, viewers, you have tracked this entire story on Republic TV, how there were day-long raids, and then Anil Deshmukh was taken to the Enforcement Directorate's office, and then shortly after midnight, many months ago, he had been arrested by the ED. He has been in jail then. He has not been allowed to vote in a number of different elections and matters. We have Alisha now joining us. Alisha, what is the update? Has Anil Deshmukh been granted bail by the court, and what are the conditions?
Well, yes, Ankit, we know that in a money laundering case that was registered against Anil Deshmukh, who is the former Home Minister of Maharashtra, has been granted bail by the Bombay High Court. So today, the bail application was filed by Anil Deshmukh, where the Justice Nitin Damdar was to pronounce the verdict in a bail application filed by Anil Deshmukh. But now we know that the bail has already been granted with a surety of 1 lakh rupees. He also needs to inform the concerned authorities, specifically the Enforcement Directorate, even if he's traveling somewhere, and he also needs to go to the concerned police official who is the investigation officer in the case. So there is something condition that has been with on Anil Deshmukh, but yes, the bail has been granted to former Home Minister Anil Deshmukh with a surety of 1 lakh rupees. So this is in connection with the one case that was registered against him, and we know that in the last year, back in 2021, where Anil Deshmukh was arrested on 1st of November. So this is almost a year. It's almost 11 months where Anil Deshmukh was in jail. He was before he was with ED custody in the connection of the complaint that was filed by Parambir Singh, the letter that was given by Parambir Singh in an 100 crore extortion case, after which there was an investigation, a parallel investigation by Enforcement Directorate, where the ECIR that has been registered by Enforcement Directorate, and moreover, he was arrested back then on 4th of 2021. But till then, he was in jail. There was a bail application that was filed before the Bombay High Court as well.
Alisha, we have Majid Memon, NCP leader, joining us on the phone line. Mr. Memon, Anil Deshmukh has been granted bail. What is your first reaction?
See, grant of bail must be independent of accusations, because whatever charges are there, the accused has to face the trial, and subsequently, if the case is established beyond reasonable doubt, he would be liable to be punished. And until then, he is presumed innocent in the criminal jurisprudence. Now, Deshmukh has been in custody for a fairly long time, and he is not the person who would run away, because he has deep roots in the society. He has enjoyed respectable high positions. He must have enough opportunity to defend himself whilst on bail. So I think we welcome the order of the Honorable High Court in grant of bail, which in my personal view ought to have come much earlier.
Right, that's Majid Memon there. I thank him for joining us for his first reaction and the first NCP reaction on its senior leader and former Maharashtra Minister Anil Deshmukh being granted bail by the court. He has been charge sheeted though in the extortion case. We'll be tracking this, viewers. We are moving on for more. Viewers, there has been a big development in the Freebie debate. The Election Commission of India has written to political parties to provide authentic information to voters to assess the financial viability of their election promises. The Election Commission says it cannot overlook inadequate disclosures on poll promises and consequential undesirable impact on financial sustainability. So this is the big update that has come in. The Election Commission has asked the parties to share information on the viability of their promises with the voters. So from now, the Election Commission, one presumes, will ask these political parties if they promise any kind of freebies to also inform the voters of the impact of the freebies on the financial viability front. This is even as the debate goes on, both in political circles and also in the Supreme Court. This was a debate that has been termed various things. The Freebie debate is one of the names in the battle between the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party over it. It's something that the Prime Minister has earlier called the Rajouri culture, the culture of freebies. Arvind Kejriwal has defended the freebie culture, saying that he only wants to help the people, but it's not as simplistic an argument as that. The Election Commission has now written to these political parties and has asked them to provide detailed instruction and information to their voters about the financial viability of the poll promises. This is a big development in the Freebie debate. I'd also like to read out the second part of the information that we have, which is that the EC says that it cannot overlook inadequate disclosures on poll promises and consequential undesirable impact on financial sustainability. So very clearly, the EC is looking at how the political parties make these promises, oftentimes without checking whether or not they are fiscally viable, whether or not they are economically sound, whether or not they have any other impact that could be not good or not desirous for their voters. One can promise freebies, but then once one comes into power, they have to justify it and they have to deliver on those as well. And that is what the Election Commission appears to be warning against. It has asked the political parties to furnish detailed information. We'll be trying to get you more information on this and in what context the Election Commission has written this. But with the polls now set to be upcoming in just the next few months in both Gujarat and Himachal Pradesh, we've seen already how a number of freebies have been promised. And we saw this also during the Punjab elections, ranging from free electricity to free water. In previous elections, we've seen in Delhi the metro availability and tickets for women on the metro for free. These are some of the schemes that have been piloted, so to say, most notably by the Aam Aadmi Party government, but there are other parties also who are in the habit of offering freebies. This goes back a long way. There are a number of parties. I can recall the JDU before the Bihar elections had also promised free vaccinations. That's a different matter. That was COVID. But here there are a number of certainly freebies and various associated types of different offers that are made to voters in an effort to get them to vote for a particular party. It's a debate that is also in the Supreme Court. It is a matter that is being expanded in the Supreme Court. We have Anuj now joining us. Anuj, tell us about the Election Commission step. What is it targeted towards and when will the parties have to furnish this information?
Well, this is the Election Commission who is taking note of the freebies which has been offered by the political parties. We have seen it in every election, whether being it the assembly elections or the general election, where the parties are coming out with different schemes and parties are speaking about the freebies, about the facilities they are going to provide to the voters. So now the Election Commission of India has made it very much clear that the parties need to be very specific and very clear about the things, that how they are going to do it and how they are going to fulfill their promises. That can never be like we have seen it earlier also. We have seen the political debates regarding the same. We have seen Aam Aadmi Party being questioned about the same. We have seen the JDU in the
Anuj, just hold on. We have also our political editor Aishwarya Kapoor joining us. Aishwarya, will you tell us more about the ECI's big move?
Well, this is a very important, as far as freebies in politics are concerned. We've seen how specifically the Aam Aadmi Party and then certain very specific regional parties have been taking on the BJP. We've seen the word Rajouri being used, and now This is a big election commission means EC has proposed performance for parties regarding disclosure of their intended sources of funding to implement their election process. That in itself is very important, and this will be covered by the Model Code of Conduct guidelines. EC has also sought comments from political parties on its proposals. So very clearly, EC is looking into the Freebie matter very, very sensitively. Also at the point of time before the 2024 general elections, before the election commission comes into the 24th election mode, it really wants to take its time as far as the freebies are concerned. That is the indication which we get after today's comments coming in from the election commission itself.
Aishwarya, another question, do stay with us. Will the ECI's request to the parties be valid from current campaigning as well? How will it play out? Will they have to let people know while announcing these promises, or how do you see the modalities of this?
Well, this is a proposal. Election Commission has proposed these performers for parties regarding disclosure of their intended sources. So this is not binding as of now. That is what we are being told. But this is a proposal which, if the parties would reject, then the Election Commission could go to the people at large and say that these are the particular political parties who have rejected this or are not comfortable. So then those political parties who say that they have nothing to hide and that everything is clean and clear would have to answer to the people of this country. But see, answers.
Aishwarya, if you can indulge another question there. This is a matter that is also in the Supreme Court, but clearly the ECI moving ahead with this proposal, will all the parties have to agree to it also? Is there some kind of criteria such as that?
Well, at this point of time, the details which we have been made privy to suggest that this is a proposal which the Election Commission has just floated. Election Commission is going to see the kind of responses which come in from all of these political parties, but majorly all the national parties at this point of time. And then, as you said, whether this is going to be implemented or used by the Election Commission in the assembly polls, because we are going to see Gujarat, Himachal Pradesh, and then other states going to polls, and this is all prior to 2024 general elections. But this is a clear indication that prior to the next general elections, that is 24, Election Commission is looking for a very, very serious stand as far as the freebies and then the Rajouri politics is concerned, that is popularly known. Yeah.
Right. Aishwarya, there summing up what the Election Commission has sought in this proposal. Remember, it is a proposal targeted at ensuring the financial viability of the various promises made by poll parties during their electioneering and their campaigns. It's a debate that is going on in political circles, most notably between the Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP. We'll just try and also get Anuj back with us. He was patched with us a short while earlier. We'd like to go to Anuj now. I'm told he's with us once again. Anuj, where has this proposal been issued from also, and has it gone specifically to the political parties, or is this a general circular? What more can you tell us?
Well, at this point in time, this is to wait and watch what exactly will be the next course of action by the Election Commission of India. But as we do understand, as we have been told, and as we do know that this is the proposal which has been given by the Election Commission of India to the parties, that they will have to tell about the finances. They will have to tell about the promises in the term of finances, whatever they do at the time of the election. So this is like wait and watch what election commission is going to do next. We are reporting live on the story. We'll be right back after a short break. Stay tuned.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 private university for the 10th year by India Today, a testimony to Amity's world-class education whilst imbibing values and sanskars in students.
Tractor trolley carrying pilgrims overturned in Ghatampur area in Kanpur.
ये धमाका और जो पुल है वो ढह चुका है.
We are now seeing lathi charge taking place on all the protesters. They want strong action against the perpetrator.
As a poster war brews between the Congress and the BJP in Karnataka, the BJP has launched posters over Congress leader Siddaramaiah, having helped the PFI on previous occasions.
Time to once again action our destiny. Focus on mission superpower. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
Jammu and Kashmir's Director General of Prisons, Hemant Lohia, was found murdered at his residence in Jammu, with police suspecting his domestic help as the main culprit. The servant in question is presently on the run.
Tractor trolley carrying pilgrims overturned in Khatampur area in Kanpur.
ये धमाका और जो पुल है वो ढह चुका है.
We are now seeing lathi charge taking place on all the protesters. They want strong action against the perpetrator.
As a poster war brews between the Congress and the BJP in Karnataka, the BJP has launched posters over Congress leader Siddaramaiah having helped the PFI on previous occasions.
Time to once again action our destiny. Focus on mission superpower. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
Jammu and Kashmir's Director General of Prisons, Hemant Lohia, was found murdered at his residence in Jammu, with police suspecting.
Viewers, we have big news coming in from Telangana. Now, ahead of Chief Minister KCR's national party announcement, or an announcement to that effect tomorrow, a TRS leader has been seen distributing alcohol. He has been seen distributing alcohol bottles and chicken. This is the visual that's coming in on your TV screens right now. This is a TRS leader who has been seen in the act. The leader's name, we are told, is Rajanala Srihari. And there you can see vast lines of people who have queued up to receive this. This is, from what we are told, bottles of liquor and chicken that are being distributed by the TRS's leader. And this comes just a day before, at a event, KCR is likely to announce further course of action with regards to his national plans. And here you see this going on. This is the visuals show you that the people are collecting what the TRS leader is offering them. They have lined up. There are long lines that are visible. And we have Aneri now joining us. Aneri, what is it that we are looking at? What condition did it take place and what was being doled out here to these people?
Having seen that this has come to light from Warangal in Telangana, where the TRS leader is seen distributing alcohol and chicken to the laborers. And also at the same time, this comes just ahead of the announcement which we are expecting that the Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao will be doing tomorrow after the TRS General Body meeting. At 7 p.m. there is a General Body meeting of the TRS party, and also at the same time we are hearing that Telangana Chief Minister could announce his entry into the national politics, or also and would announce that the TRS party could be renamed to another name. But there's no clarity on that yet. But yes, tomorrow is a big day for the TRS, definitely. But this incident which has come to light from Warangal, where we see that the TRS leaders are seen distributing hens and chicken. And also in the background, if you see, there's a poster of KCR, the Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao poster is there, and also K.T. Ramarao, who is the TRS working president. Even his poster is put up there. And also, not only that, very clearly the TRS leader is seen speaking there and saying that, yes, as Telangana Chief Minister is going to make his entry into the national politics, we are distributing this, and also we want that Telangana Chief Minister to become the PM and also KTR to become the CM. Very clearly, this is what the TRS leaders have been doing in Warangal. Well, they are distributing alcohol and hence to the labor there in Warangal district.
Aneri, stay with us. So just to once again reiterate to our viewers, those are on the table in front of these leaders. Those are live chickens flapping their wings and bottles of liquor that are being distributed to people who have formed a long line in Warangal. Aneri, coming back to you, is there a particular reason for this being done, for this distribution?
Well, that is what we have been noticing, that this has been done just ahead, as he has been saying that Telangana Chief Minister is going to make an announcement of the National Party tomorrow on the eve of Dasara, and that is why he has been distributing alcohol and chicken to the people there. So very clearly this comes ahead of the Telangana Chief Minister's announcement, which is expected tomorrow on the eve of Dasara. Well, Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao enter the national politics also remains to be seen. We'll be right back after a short break. Keep watching Republic TV.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 private university for the 10th year by India Today, a testimony to Amity's world-class education whilst imbibing values and sanskars in students.
As a poster war brews between the Congress and the BJP in Karnataka, the BJP has launched posters over Congress leader Siddaramaiah, having helped the PFI on previous occasions.
Time to once again action our destiny. Focus on mission superpower. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
Jammu and Kashmir's Director General of Prisons, Hemant Lohia, was found murdered at his residence in Jammu, with police suspecting his domestic help as the main culprit. The servant in question is presently on the run.
Tractor trolley carrying pilgrims overturned in Khatampur area in Kanpur.
ये धमाका और जो पुल है वो ढह चुका है.
We are now seeing lathi charge taking place on all the protesters. They want strong action against the perpetrator.
As a poster war brews between the Congress and the BJP in Karnataka, the BJP has launched posters over Congress leader Siddaramaiah, having helped the PFI on previous occasions.
Time to once again act.
Viewers, we have a update to the news we broke just a short while ago about Anil Deshmukh being granted bail. Well, Anil Deshmukh will remain behind bars. That is the latest, because he is still not been granted bail in the CBI's case against him. He has been granted bail on 1 lakh surety in the ED's case. But in that sense, there is no relief for the former Maharashtra Home Minister, who will remain in jail. Remember, he was arrested on November the 1st of 2021 by the ED. He was later also arrested by the CBI. He remains to get bail in the CBI's case, and so he will remain behind bars. That is the big update we are getting at this point. He may have been granted bail in the ED's case, but in the Central Bureau of Investigation's case, Anil Deshmukh will remain behind bars. We have Alisha joining us. Alisha, tell us more. He will remain in bail. Is that correct?
Well, yes, Ankit, we know that even the Bombay High Court has granted bail to Anil Deshmukh in a case that was registered, money laundering case registered by Enforcement Directorate. But there is also another arrest in the same, which is interlinked by the CBI. The CBI also registered an FIR against Anil Deshmukh, where the statement has been recorded, and whereas Anil Deshmukh has also been arrested by the CBI as well. Moreover, there will be another bail application that is going to be filed by Deshmukh lawyers in the Sessions Court. Continuously rolling on this big story. We'll be back after a short break. Stay tuned.
Time to once again action our destiny. Focus on mission superpower. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
Jammu and Kashmir's Director General of Prisons, Hemant Lohia, was found murdered at his residence in Jammu, with police suspecting his domestic help as the main culprit. The servant in question is presently on the run.
Tractor trolley carrying pilgrims overturned in Khatampur area in Kanpur.
ये धमाका और जो पुल है वो ढह चुका है.
We are now seeing lathi charge taking place on all the protesters. They want strong actions against the perpetrator.
As a poster war brews between the Congress and the BJP in Karnataka, the BJP has launched posters over Congress leader Siddaramaiah having helped the PFI on previous occasions.
Time to once again action our destiny. Focus on mission superpower. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's big. Time to once again action our destiny. Focus on mission superpower. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
Hey, good afternoon. You're watching Superfast 53 p.m. I'm Suesha Sam. Beginning with the first story, Union Home Minister Amit Shah touched down at Vaishno Devi Shrine at Katra in Jammu and Kashmir to begin his 3-day visit to the Union Territory. Internet services have been suspended in Jammu and Rajouri as a precautionary measure, as Union Home Minister Amit Shah has a rally scheduled at Rajouri. One of the main aspects of the Home Minister's current visit is the possible announcement of the Pahari community of Jammu and Kashmir being given the status of a scheduled tribe. A recommendation for the reservation was further made by the Jammu and Kashmir Commission on socially and educationally backward classes ahead of the Home Minister's visit. Home Minister Amit Shah sends out the biggest message from the centre, giving a befitting reply to the naysayers. Amit Shah said that Kashmir has silenced all the critics today who claimed that there would be a river of blood.
धारा 370 जाएगी तो फिर पंजाब पर आग लग जाएगी. आज की ये रैली उन लोगों को जवाब है जो कहते थे धारा 370 जाएगी तो खून की नदियां बह जाएगी.
Union Home Minister said that in the leadership of Prime Minister Modi, there has been a curb on terror activities in the valley. He added that stone pelting has now stopped and instead tourism business has grown in the past few years.
आए दिन पथराव के समाचार अखबार में आप पढ़ते थे या नहीं पढ़ते थे, बोलो भाई? तक पढ़ते थे या नहीं पढ़ते थे? अब पथराव के समाचार आते हैं क्या? आते हैं क्या? मोदी जी ने युवाओं के हाथ से पत्थर लेकर लैपटॉप थमाने का काम किया है, नौकरी देने का काम किया है।
Speaking at the rally in Rajouri, Home Minister Amit Shah spoke about the reinstatement of rights to various communities in Jammu and Kashmir, further speaking about how benefits of the Minorities Act was made possible after the Article 370 was revoked. Home Minister Amit Shah eventually spoke about working for a reservation for certain communities in the Union Territory in accordance with recommendations of a Jammu and Kashmir Reservation Commission.
धारा 370 को हटाने से यहाँ पिछड़ों को, दलितों को, आदिवासियों को और पहाड़ियों को अपना अधिकार मिलने वाला है।
Teams of the SDRF left from Dehradun after at least 28 trainees of the Nehru Mountaineering Institute were reported trapped at an avalanche at the Danda 2 mountain peak in the Draupadi ranges in Uttarakhand. Teams of the NDRF, Army and ITBP have been sent. Jammu and Kashmir's Director General of Prisons, Hemant K. Lohia, was found murdered at his residence here in Jammu, with the police suspecting his domestic help as the main culprit. The main accused in the case of the Jammu and Kashmir DG's murder was arrested by the police between Ramban and Udhampur as multiple raids were undertaken in the two districts in order to nab the servant.
ये कल शाम का वाकया है, बहुत ही दुखद घटना है। शुरुआती जांच में ऐसा लग रहा है कि एक लड़का जो डोमेस्टिक हेल्प के तौर पे उनके साथ काम करता था, 4-5 महीनों से काम कर रहा था, उसका हाथ है इस घटना में। CCTV फुटेजेस अवेलेबल है जिसमें वो भागता हुआ नज़र आ रहा है। जो हथियार इस कांड में इस्तेमाल हुआ है उसको बरामद कर लिया गया है। फिलहाल टेरर एंगल का कोई भी एविडेंस इसमें नहीं आया।
Jammu and Kashmir Police released a statement in connection with the murder of Jammu and Kashmir DG H.K. Lohia with the servant Yasir, who is being named as the main accused in the case. The police further stated that there was no terror angle apparent in the case. Former Maharashtra Home Minister Anil Deshmukh was granted bail on the condition of a surety of a bond of 1 lakh rupees by the Bombay High Court. With the bail granted in connection with the ED's money laundering scam, the former minister has been charged. He would still remain behind bars as the CBI case against him persists. A crackdown on the PFI continues in the country with at least 4 members of the organization arrested in New Delhi. A message alleged to be by the PFI with the message reading, "We will be back," was found at Mangaluru. As a poster war brews between the Congress and the BJP in Karnataka, the BJP has launched posters over Congress leader Siddaramaiah having helped the PFI on previous occasions. A DMK functionary was named as the reason of a woman committing suicide at the district of Pudukkottai in Tamil Nadu. The DML functionary and his wife allegedly threatened to send her to prison under a murder case. BJP held protests at Pudukkottai demanding the arrest of the people mentioned in the suicide note. The police eventually acted on the case and suspended 3 police officers, including the wife of the DMK functionary. Maharashtra Congress President Nana Patole sought to link the spread of lumpy virus disease among cattle to the cheetahs brought from Namibia and released last month, thereby blaming the BJP for bringing in the virus to the country.
ये लोग जो है नाइजीरिया करके एक देश है, वहाँ पर ये कई सालों से था और ये चित्ता भी जो लाया गया है उधर से ही लाया गया है। तो चित्ते के चिट्ठे और गैया के चिट्ठे ये दोनों समान आते हैं। ये केंद्र की सरकार ने जानबूझकर किसानों का नुकसान करने के लिए ये व्यवस्था बनाई है। किसानों का
Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis took potshots on Congress leader Nana Patole over his cheetah remark and said that the latter talks ignorantly for media attention, otherwise he won't be seen altogether, after the Congress leader earlier stated that the BJP had brought cheetahs from Namibia to spread the lumpy skin disease. Indian Air Force Air Chief Marshal V.R. Chaudhary commented on China-bound Iranian airline and the Air Force's protocol in connection with such incidents.
As regards to the recent air violations or incursions or increased air activity by the Chinese, we continuously monitor it by continuously enhancing our air defense efforts there. We have increased the presence of radars and SHW systems. We have networked them into our IACCS network, and appropriate non-escalatory air defense measures are taken.
Air Chief Marshal V.R. Chaudhary, while speaking about indigenous defense industries on the rise, stated that they acted as an opportunity for the defense forces to overcome any shortfalls for spares traditionally acquired from Ukraine and Russia.
से हमने लगभग 62,000 स्पेयर्स डोमेस्टिकली हम प्रोक्योर करते हैं, स्पेयर्स एंड कंपोनेंट्स। तो इसीलिए हमारी जो डिपेंडेंसी है रशिया और यूक्रेन पे दिन बे दिन घटती जा रही है, एंड वी आर कॉन्फिडेंट दैट विद द डोमेस्टिक इंडस्ट्री स्टेपिंग अप वी विल बी एबल टू ओवरकम एनी शॉर्टफॉल इन स्पेयर्स फ्रॉम दैट वी बीन ट्रेडिशनली एक्वायरिंग फ्रॉम रशिया एंड यूक्रेन.
A special PMLA court extended Shiv Sena MP Sanjay Raut's judicial custody, thereby denying his bail plea. His custody has been extended till the 10th of October in connection with the Patra Chaul land scam case as a result. Peter Mukherjee's son Rahul Mukherjee was deposed before a special CBI court with the cross-examination to be carried out by Rani Mukherjee's lawyer in connection with the murder of Sheena Bora. Both Indrani Mukherjee and Peter Mukherjee were present during the deposition. 6 people were injured during stones that were pelted by 2 unidentified suspects amid Navratri celebrations at a village of Undhela in Gujarat. Police were further deployed at the village in order to avoid any further escalation.
स्टोन पेल्टिंग किया, उसमें बहुत 6-7 लोगों को छोटी मोटी इंजरी हुई है, उसकी अभी प्राइमरी ट्रीटमेंट चालू है। और जितने भी लोग थे आरोपी में, तो कौन कौन थे वो सब अभी ग्रामजनों जो है उनकी पूछताछ करके उनको आइडेंटिफाई किया जाएगा, और जितने भी लोग हैं उनके खिलाफ सख्त से सख्त कार्यवाही की जाएगी।
And RJD leader Manoj Jha was denied permission to visit Pakistan for an event by the Ministry of External Affairs, stating that the event was organized in the memory of Asma Jahangir, a co-founder of the Pakistan Human Rights Commission. Manoj Jha called denial of permission unfortunate.
ये अस्मा जहांगीर जी की मेमोरी में थी और पूरे दक्षिण एशिया में उनके काम से हर कोई वाकिफ है। बड़े लोगों के बच्चे बिजनेस कर लें पाकिस्तान के साथ, वहाँ के लोगों के साथ, लेकिन मैं जहां अपने देश का पक्ष रख सकता था वो डिनाई होता। और विसंगति देखिए, MHA FCRA क्लियरेंस देता है जो मुझे कल मिला, और MEA पॉलिटिकल क्लियरेंस डिक्लाइन करता है।
A minor boy was made to perform the nude worship ritual in the district of Hubballi in Karnataka. 3 accused in the case were stripped after a boy was made to strip his clothes for the ritual, and a video of the same was eventually uploaded on social media. Vedanta Hospital has released a statement on the latest update of Samajwadi Party patriarch Mulayam Singh Yadav. The hospital has stated that Mulayam is in critical care unit.
वो तो देश के बेमिसाल नेता है, उनकी कोई मिसाल नहीं है। वो तो शानदार और बेमिसाल नेता है। गरीबों के, लाचारों के, बेसहारा लोगों का मसला है देश का। अब सारे लोग ये प्रार्थना भगवान से करते हैं कि वो जल्दी स्वस्थ हों और ठीक हों।
Two groups clashed and hurled stones at each other over putting up a religious flag in Savli town in Gujarat's Vadodara district. Now, according to the police, 36 people have been arrested. The incident occurred on Saturday night after a group of people objected to members of another community trying to put up a religious flag alongside their flag on an electricity pole. At least 5 attempts to infiltrate drones from Pakistan were foiled by the Punjab police at the border in the state. The police fired at least 37 rounds at the drones as they attempted to enter the country 5 times in 5 hours. The drones were spotted near Batala in Punjab's district of Gurdaspur. The CBI recently declared the death of a fisherman named Paresh Mehta during a riot at the district of Hanowar in Karnataka in 2016 as an accident. The report by the CBI comes 4.5 years following the incident. Troops of the Border Security Force recovered contraband suspected to be heroin from the truck during an inspection of trucks from Pakistan loaded with Afghan dry fruits. The bust was made at the trade gate at the integrated checkpost at the Atari border near Amritsar in Punjab. Sources state Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao is expected to announce the details of his national agenda on the occasion of Dussehra. The announcement is expected to be made during a party meet scheduled at his residence at the Telangana Bhavan. Live chickens and bottles of liquor were seen distributed by a TRS leader in Warangal ahead of the possible announcement by Telangana Chief Minister KCR in connection with the national wing of the TRS. Singaporean diplomat Ong Keng Yong, while commenting on relations between India and China, stated that there ought to be a conclusion for the differences between the two countries, further stating that smooth business was being hampered in the region as a result.
The important thing now is that both sides have to sit down and go through all the possible scenario, all the possible options, and then have a commonsensical conclusion. We maintain our respective position. We cannot get any conclusion.
The last outpost near China border in Dharma Valley of Pithoragarh district received the 3rd snowfall of the season on the 2nd of October, with the snowfall acting as an indication of the onset of winter in Uttarakhand. A major fire broke out at Ramleela Pandal at Itawa in Uttar Pradesh. The fire was a result of a short circuit as an effigy of Ravan was burned during Navratri celebrations. A major fire broke out at a garage in the Lalbari area of Domjur in Havra, leading to at least 4 vehicles burning as a result of the incident. Firefighting operations were undertaken at the site with no injuries that were reported during the incident. An unidentified ballistic missile reported to have been fired by North Korea recently flew over the Omari prefecture in Japan, prompting Japanese authorities to ask citizens to evacuate the shelters. The Japanese government further issued an alert urging in Japan's Hokkaido and Omaru prefectures to stay inside the buildings. Japan on Tuesday condemned North Korea's firing of an intermediate-range ballistic missile over the country for the first time in 5 years, which forced Japanese authorities to issue evacuation notices and suspend trains. South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol said that North Korea's missile launch would face a decisive response from South Korea, its allies, and from the international community. Recent images from North Korean state media show show what could have been the missile that Pyongyang had launched over Japan, with missiles paraded through North Korea's most recent big military parade in April this year displayed missiles suspected to be the latest version of the Hwasong-12. An Indonesian police chief and 9 elite officers were removed from their posts, and 18 others are being investigated for responsibility in the firing of tear gas inside a soccer stadium that set off a stampede that led to the death of at least 125 people. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky announced that Ukrainian fighters who had been imprisoned by Russia for months were reunited with their families. The release of the Azov fighters who defended the Azovstal steel plant in the besieged city of Mariupol was secured in a high-profile prisoner swap in September in exchange for the release of 200 Ukrainian citizens and 15 foreign nationals. Ukraine gave up an ally of Russian President Vladimir Putin, pro-Russian Ukrainian opposition leader Viktor Medvedchuk. Ukrainian forces have broken through Moscow's defenses in the strategic southern Kherson region. The Russian military had acknowledged the same. Russia's defense ministry spokesperson Igor Konashevkov has said in his daily briefing with tank units in the direction of Zolotaya Balka, the enemy managed to penetrate into the depths of our defense. Brazilian presidential candidate Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva met with strategists and campaign advisors to draw up a new plan with which they hope to win against incumbent President Jair Bolsonaro. However, da Silva may have a tougher path to victory than what he and his team had thought just days ago when polls showed him leading Bolsonaro by double digits. Severe weather had hit several locations in Arizona. A tornado was reported near Williams, near the Grand Canyon, while a dust storm swept through Phoenix, lowering visibility and whipping around palm trees. Up to 10 homes were damaged after the tornado touched down Monday in northern Arizona, but authorities said that there were no reported injuries. The marine biologist who is in a race against time to save a coral reef in Maldives and find out if the International Nectar Science mission exploring offshore can provide vital new data to help her on the tiny island of Fula Du Aya Nasim and the Maldives Coral Institute are involved in a labor of love. Barcelona head coach Xavi Hernandez refused to be drawn on a possible move to bring Lionel Messi back to the club ahead of his side's crucial Champions League tie away to Inter Milan. The two teams are level in second place in Group C with 3 points from their opening in 2 matches. Antonio Conte has defended his style of play by suggesting that his teams would never concede 6, 7 or 8 goals, as he hinted at Manchester United's defeat to Manchester City as an example. Tottenham will look to bounce back from defeat in the North London derby against Arsenal when they face Eintracht Frankfurt in the Champions League. Porto will try to earn its first point when it hosts Bayer Leverkusen in their third game in Group B in the Champions League. The German side arrive at the Estadio do Dragão, having won and lost one of their first 2 games. An independent investigation into the scandals that erupted in the National Women's Soccer League last season found emotional abuse and sexual misconduct were systemic in the sport, impacting multiple teams, coaches and players, according to a report that was released. 5th seed Andrei Rublev booked his place in the second round of the Astana Open with a straight sets win over qualifier Laszlo Djere. Rublev forced a solitary break in either set and completed a 6-4, 6-3 victory over 2021 Astana Open quarter finalist Djere in 1 hour and 11 minutes.
Jammu and Kashmir's Director General of Prisons, Hemant Lohia, was found murdered at his residence in Jammu, with police suspecting his domestic help as the main culprit. The servant in question is presently on the run.
Tractor trolley carrying pilgrims overturned in Khatampur area in Kanpur.
ये धमाका और जो पुल है वो ढह चुका है.
We are now seeing lathi charge taking place on all the protesters. They want strong action against the perpetrator.
As a poster war brews between the Congress and the BJP in Karnataka, the BJP has launched posters over Congress leader Siddaramaiah, having helped the PFI on previous occasions.
Time to once again action our destiny. Focus on mission superpower. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
And cutting across to breaking news coming in from the national capital, nabbed from the IGI airport last evening. Russian hacker accused in the alleged hacking of JEE Mains 2021 has been produced in the Delhi court today. These are details that are just trickling in. The man responsible for the alleged hacking of JEE Mains 2021, the Russian hacker who had been named, has now been produced in the Delhi court today. He was nabbed from the IGI airport last evening. We're trying to get further details of the hearing and what exactly is happening inside the court, where he has been produced before court is what we are picking up at this point. The Russian hacker who is being held allegedly responsible for hacking the JEE Mains 2021 has been produced in the Delhi court today. Harsha is joining us live to give us more details. Harsha, what exactly are you picking up in terms of Mikhail Shargin, who was nabbed from the Delhi airport last evening, is what we are hearing. And of course, he is to be produced in Delhi's Rouse Avenue court today. What's expected?
Mikhail Shargin is right now being produced in the Rouse Avenue court, and CBI, after detaining him yesterday from the IGI airport, the immigration department detained him. Gave the custody to CBI, and CBI interrogated him, in which we got to know that in September 2021, the IIT JEE paper was leaked. The Ilion software, which is used to conduct the paper of IIT JEE, that was hacked, and the accused who were arrested by the agency after interrogating those accused, a lookout circular was issued against this Russian national, and CBI interrogated him. And in the entire interrogation, it got to know that he is the main accused. He is the one who has hacked this entire software. The computer tampering was done by him. In fact, he trained all the others also who were arrested by the agency earlier last year in September 2021. A huge development has been recorded in this, and now he is being produced in the Rouse Avenue court, and further custody of his also will be taken, because there were many other foreign nationals as well who were along with him, who were involved in the hacking of computer system of certain candidates. And this was a very big issue in September 2021. If you remember, when the IIT JEE exam was being conducted, the Ilion software was hacked, and there were certain students which were unable to give, and the similar paper came up with so many students, and the hacking came into the light. And after that, when the investigation was further taken up, there were many accused who were arrested. So the big news which is coming in, you're watching on Republic TV, that Mikhail Shargin, the main accused in the IIT JEE exam tampering, has been taken into the custody and been produced in the Rouse Avenue court. You're watching Republic TV. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after a short break.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 private university for the 10th year by India Today, a testimony to Amity's world-class education whilst imbibing values and sanskars in students.
Tractor trolley carrying pilgrims overturned in Khatampur area in Kanpur.
ये धमाका और जो पुल है वो ढह चुका है.
We are now seeing lathi charge taking place on all the protesters. They want strong action against the perpetrator.
As a poster war brews between the Congress and the BJP in Karnataka, the BJP has launched posters over Congress leader Siddaramaiah, having helped the PFI on previous occasions.
Time to once again action our destiny. Focus on mission superpower. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
Jammu and Kashmir's Director General of Prisons, Hemant Lohia, was found murdered at his residence in Jammu, with police suspecting his domestic help as the main culprit. The servant in question is presently on the run.
Tractor trolley carrying pilgrims overturned in Khatampur area in Kanpur.
ये धमाका और जो पुल है वो ढह चुका है.
We are now seeing lathi charge taking place on all the protesters. They want strong action against the perpetrator.
As a poster war brews between the Congress and the BJP in Karnataka, the BJP has launched posters over Congress leader Siddaramaiah, having helped the PFI on previous.
Time to once again action our destiny. Focus on mission superpower. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
Viewers, top headlines right now. Shah kickstarts historic Kashmir visit. Hectic parlays lined up.
जब जब भारत पर खतरा आया, ये मेरे पहाड़ी भाई भूकर पकड़वाओ, चट्टान की तरह दीवार बनकर खड़े रहे.
Integrated unity and nation first. Shah's big message resonates across the valley.
आज की ये रैली उन लोगों को जवाब है जो कहते थे धारा 370 जाएगी तो खून की नदियां बह जाएगी.
Big rallies, key meetings and mega projects. Shah's big Kashmir visit now rattles the Gupkar gang. As debate on freebies rages on, Election Commission asks political parties to make genuine promises. Ahead of KCR's National Party launch, TRS leaders seen distributing alcohol and live chickens. Avalanche reported in Uttarakhand, 8 rescued, 21 still fear trapped. Rescue operations underway. Viewers, we are live and breaking this Tuesday afternoon. I'm Shivangi Shukla. It's a historic visit of Home Minister Amit Shah to Jammu and Kashmir. On his second day, Home Minister Shah visited the Vaishno Devi temple and offered prayers on the last day of Navratri. He then addressed a big public rally in Rajouri where he received a grand welcome. The Modi chants echoed at the venue when Shah began his address. Here are some excerpts from the address.
आज की ये रैली आपके मोदी मोदी के नारे उन लोगों को जवाब है जो कहते थे धारा 370 जाएगी तो फिर पंजाब पर आग लग जाएगी. आज की ये रैली उन धारा 370 जाएगी तो खून की नदियां बह जाएगी। मित्रों, आज सबसे पहले फिर भी एक धूप में, कड़ी धूप में, हैंगर के पार, मकानों पर, दीवारों पर, जहां पर भी नजर पड़ती है, लोग ही लोग नजर आते हैं। मोदी जी के प्रति आपका जो ये प्यार है, मोदी जी के प्रति आपका ये जो विश्वास है, मैं मन से, दिल से कहता हूं, हम लोगों का कश्मीर और जम्मू के लिए और विशेषकर पूंछ और राजौरी के लिए ज्यादा काम करने का उत्साह बढ़ाता है। मित्रों, उत्साह। पहले मुझे बताओ भाइयों बहनों, आए दिन पथराव के समाचार अखबार में आप पढ़ते थे या नहीं पढ़ते थे? बोलो भाई, जोर से बोलो, सुना ही नहीं पड़ा, पढ़ते थे या नहीं पढ़ते थे? अब पथराव के समाचार आते हैं क्या? आते हैं क्या? मोदी जी ने युवाओं के हाथ से पत्थर लेकर लैपटॉप थमाने का काम किया है, नौकरी देने का काम किया। ये परिवर्तन जम्मू कश्मीर के लिए बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है। माताओं, भाइयों, बहनों, मैं राजौरी आया हूं। मैं आपको कहना चाहता हूं, राजौरी में मेडिकल कॉलेज की आपने कभी कल्पना भी की थी क्या? जरा जोर से बोलो, की थी क्या? राजौरी में मोदी जी ने मेडिकल कॉलेज भेजकर न केवल यहाँ के बच्चों को डॉक्टर बनने का मौका दिया है, मेरे पहाड़ी भाइयों के लिए मुफ्त में इलाज हो, इसकी व्यवस्था यहीं पर कर दी है। आपको किसी को जम्मू जाना नहीं पड़ेगा।
So viewers, you just heard Amit Shah speaking there, Rajouri. He also declared that the Pahari community will soon get reservation in education and jobs as scheduled tribes. So this is big news coming in. In fact, we were waiting for this big announcement that this was expected, but that really happened. Amit Shah has declared that the Pahari community will soon get reservation in education and jobs as scheduled tribe. And if the Paharis get ST status, this, viewers, will be the first instance of the linguistic group earning reservations in India. So this is a very big news which has come out from Amit Shah's address, and we have been tracking the story extremely closely, and many points were made during that big address in Rajouri. He also said and urged the crowds to thank PM Modi for the move on August 5th, 2019, when Articles 35A and 370, the constitutional provisions that gave some autonomy to Jammu and Kashmir, were hollowed out. All right, let's go ahead and listen in to this report filed by my colleague Gursimran.
Union Home Minister Amit Shah has made an announcement that soon after the administrative approval is given, the process for granting the reservation to the Pahari community will be done, and it will be at par with the lines of the reservation that is being given to the Gujar Bakarwal community. No one's rights will be snatched and everyone will be given the right. Right now I am joined by various representatives of the Pahari Gujar community. What actually they feel, will try to speak to them. ये कहा गया है कि अब जो है एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव अप्रूवल के बाद ही जो है अब आपको आरक्षण मिलेगा। कितनी खुशी है?
देखिए, हमको पहले से ही मालूम था। हम इस चीज़ के लिए कभी यहाँ नहीं आए थे कि अमित शाह जी जो है यहाँ पर आज ये कहकर हमें बोलेंगे कि हमने आपको एसटी दे दिया। हमें ये मालूम था आरक्षण के लिए जो जस्टिस जीडी शर्मा की रिपोर्ट गई है उसके मुताबिक गुज्जर, बकरवाल और पहाड़ियों को ये तीनों भाई जो हैं एक ही रीजन से है, तो इनके साथ इंसाफ किया जाएगा। और आज माननीय अमित शाह जी ने उस बात को सच साबित करार देते हुए ये कहा है कि ये तीनों एक ही घराने के लोग हैं, तो इनको आरक्षण दिया जाएगा। और आने वाले वक्त में आप देखेंगे इलेक्शन भी उस पे होगा, नौकरियां भी उस पर मिलेंगी।
नौकरियां मिलेंगी।
एक मिनट मेरे साथ
जी मैडम,
ये मेरे भाई हैं, गुज्जर पहाड़ी सब एकता इस वक्त जी जिंदाबाद है। जम्मू कश्मीर का गुज्जर, जम्मू कश्मीर का पहाड़ी इस वक्त यहाँ राजौरी में एक प्लेटफॉर्म पे है। हम अपनी एकता को कभी खत्म नहीं करेंगे। हम अपनी कभी
जो अमित शाह जी यहाँ जो एक वैक्यूम था हमारे दरमियान, ये गुजरों को दिया था, हमने ये उसका विश्वासन दिया कि हम पहाड़ियों के साथ इंसाफ किया जाएगा और हमें पहाड़ी स्टेटस का फायदा मिलेगा। हम क्या दिल से मशहूर अमित शाह जी का, उम्मीद करते हैं कि जो स्टेटस है वो हमें भी दिया जाएगा और हमें उसका फायदा मिलेगा।
हम अमित शाह साहब का मशहूर हैं, उन्होंने ऐलान किया है कि गुजर बकरवान को दिया है, पहाड़ियों को भी मिलेगा शेड्यूल टाइम। हम आपके मशहूर हैं और आप इसको शायद करें।
So the celebrations have started here at the rally venue of Union Home Minister Amit Shah as the Gujar and the Pahari community are celebrating the decision that has been conveyed by the Union Home Minister that soon after the administrative process is completed, the Union government will grant the reservation to Pahari community as well as to the community Gujar and Bakarwal. And now the celebrations are here going on here all over with Rakesh Kumar.
All right, viewers, big celebrations after Amit Shah announced that the Pahari community will soon get reservation in education and jobs as scheduled tribes. So big news coming in from Jammu and Kashmir. Amit Shah's visit there, where he just a short time back, viewers, addressed that big rally in Rajouri. Earlier, he visited the Vaishno Devi temple, offered prayers on the last day of Navratri. He then addressed a big public rally, visuals of which you can see on your screen. Now let's go ahead to the other big story we're tracking right now, getting some more breaking news coming in, and this is coming in from Gujarat. Visuals from Gujarat's Porbandar, where clash has erupted. That's what we're learning so far between police and the locals there. Locals pelted stones at policemen, and the visuals of that clash are there on your screen, viewers. We can see those visuals there which we're getting for you. The clashes is between the cops and the locals, and what we're learning so far is that this is coming in from Gujarat's Porbandar area, where clashes have erupted there between the police and local people. Now what we have also learned, the locals have pelted stones at the policemen. Viewers, we continue to be live and breaking. Coming up next, Shah kickstarts historic Kashmir visit. Hectic parlays lined up. Plus, as debate on freebies rages on, Election Commission asks political parties to make genuine promises. Stay tuned.
As a poster war brews between the Congress and the BJP in Karnataka, the BJP has launched posters over Congress leader Siddaramaiah, having helped the PFI on previous occasions.
Time to once again action our destiny. Focus on mission superpower. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
Jammu and Kashmir's Director General of Prisons, Hemant Lohia, was found murdered at his residence in Jammu, with police suspecting his domestic help as the main culprit. The servant in question is presently on the run.
Tractor trolley carrying pilgrims overturned in Khatampur area in Kanpur.
ये धमाका और जो पुल है वो ढह चुका है.
We are now seeing lathi charge taking place on all the protesters. They want strong action against the perpetrator.
As a poster war brews between the Congress and the BJP in Karnataka, the BJP has launched posters over Congress leader Siddaramaiah, having helped the PFI on previous occasions.
Time to once again action our destiny. Focus on mission superpower. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
Jammu and Kashmir's Director General of Prisons, Hemant Lohia, was found murdered at his residence in Jammu, with police suspecting his domestic help as the main culprit. The servant in question is presently on the run.
Tractor trolley carrying pilgrims overturned in Ghatampur area in Kanpur.
ये धमाका और जो पुल है वो ढह चुका है.
We are now seeing lathi charge taking place on all the protesters. They want strong action against the perpetrator.
As a poster war brews between the Congress and the BJP in Karnataka, the BJP has launched posters over Congress leader Siddaramaiah, having helped the PFI on previous occasions.
Time to once again action our destiny. Focus on mission superpower. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
Viewers, getting in first visuals of Russian hacker accused in the JEE Mains paper leak case. Viewers, the accused has been sent to 2-day custody. The Russian hacker has been sent to 2-day custody. The visuals you can see on the screen, the first pictures of the Russian hacker are now on your screen. This is Mikhail Shagin, who has been sent to 2-day CBI custody by Rouse Avenue Court, viewers. That's what we are learning so far. The CBI had arrested the Russian hacker at the IGI airport earlier. And this case has been building up for the past few months. The CBI had issued a lookout circular against Mikhail for tampering with the examination. The court then had ordered Shagin to cooperate in probe. The court said that if nothing comes out in the investigation, then Shagin can file bail plea. So this is the big breaking news we're getting for you right now. You can see the visuals of the Russian hacker who has been accused in the JEE Mains paper leak case. Harsha is joining me on the phone line. Harsha, take us through what our viewers are seeing right now, because Republic TV has got the exclusive visuals of the Russian hacker. Harsha.
This Russian hacker lookout circular was issued against him in the year 2021, when in September 2021 the JEE main exams papers were leaked, and he was the main accused, main mastermind behind hacking computer tampering of the software, the Elion software, which is used to conduct the exam of IIT JEE, and he is the main accused now, who has been arrested. First, yesterday when he was returning from Kazakhstan, the immigration department detained him and gave the custody straight to the CBI, because lookout circular was issued against him by the Central Bureau of Investigation yesterday evening. After arresting full night, the interrogation and investigation was taken up by CBI, and now today they...
All right, thank you, Harsha, for getting those details. I'll be coming back to you. First visuals of Russian hacker accused in the JEE Mains paper leak case on your screen. Accused has been sent to 2-day custody. Much more breaking news coming in. There's a press conference being held by the BJP now.
करने का अधिकार दिया गया, तो वही कंपनियां लेट फी के लिए दिल्ली सरकार को केवल 12% ही क्यों दे रही थी? ये 6% का मुनाफा कहां जा रहा था? और एक अनुमान के अनुसार पिछले कुछ वर्षों में मिलाकर इससे 8,000 करोड़ रुपए से अधिक का लाभ उनको प्राप्त हुआ। तो मानी हुई बात है, ये पैसा कहां गया और किसने इसको किस रूप में यूज किया? क्योंकि पुनः मैं कह रहा हूं, जनता से 18%, सरकार को डिपॉजिट 12%, ये बीच में 6% कहां जा रहा है? और अगला पॉइंट उससे भी अधिक महत्वपूर्ण है कि ये जो डिस्कॉम्स होती थी, यानी विद्युत वितरण कंपनियां, इनके बोर्ड में सरकारी अधिकारी नामित होते थे। उसकी बजाय पहली बार आम आदमी पार्टी ने अपनी पार्टी के 2 पदाधिकारियों और अपने सांसद के एक बेटे को नामित किया। इस विषय पर हम उनसे साफ पूछना चाहते हैं कि राजनीतिक व्यक्तियों को डिस्कॉम के बोर्ड पर नियुक्ति करने के पीछे उनका क्या उद्देश्य था? क्या यही उद्देश्य था कि यह सब जो प्रक्रिया थी ये होती रहे? एक बार हम यह भी मानते कि वो विद्युत के क्षेत्र के विषय विशेषज्ञों को नियुक्त करते तो फिर भी हम मान लेते। ना अपने अधिकारियों को हटाया, नियुक्त किया, विषय विशेषज्ञों को नहीं नियुक्त किया, अपनी पार्टी के पदाधिकारियों और नेताओं को नियुक्त किया। और उनकी ही उपस्थिति में वेवर भी हो जाता है, उनकी उपस्थिति में यह नीतियां तय हो जाती हैं कि वो लोग अपनी देनदारी इस ढंग से एडजस्ट कर लेंगे। जबकि मजे की बात यह है कि जो तीसरी कंपनी है उसने सारी अपना पेमेंट लगातार किया और उन पे ना कोई देनदारी है ना कोई प्रक्रिया है। ये सारी की सारी देनदारी इन 2 कंपनियों पे से ही क्यों है? और अंतिम बिंदु ये हम याद दिलाना चाहते हैं, ये तो वही केजरीवाल जी थे। वैसे तो हर पुरानी बात वो भुलाते झुटलाते चले जा रहे हैं, मगर उन्होंने ही तो कहा था शीला दीक्षित जी की सरकार के समय कि इसमें बड़ा भारी घोटाला हुआ है, हम आएंगे तो यह रिलायंस पावर जो अनिल अंबानी जी की कंपनी है इसके विरुद्ध कार्रवाई करेंगे।
Time to once again action our destiny. Focus on mission superpower. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
Jammu and Kashmir's Director General of Prisons, Hemant Lohia, was found murdered at his residence in Jammu, with police suspecting his domestic help as the main culprit. The servant in question is presently on the run.
Tractor trolley carrying pilgrims overturned in Khatampur area in Kanpur.
ये धमाका और जो पुल है वो ढह चुका है।
We are now seeing lathi charge taking place on all the protesters. They want strong action against the perpetrator.
As a poster war brews between the Congress and the BJP in Karnataka, the BJP has launched posters over Congress leader Siddaramaiah, having helped the PFI on previous occasions.
Time to once again action our destiny. Focus on mission superpower. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
Jammu and Kashmir's Director General of Prisons, Hemant Lohia, was found murdered at his residence in Jammu, with police suspecting his domestic help as the main culprit. The servant in question is presently on the run.
Tractor trolley carrying pilgrims overturned in Khatampur area in Kanpur.
ये धमाका और जो पुल है वो ढह चुका है।
We are now seeing lathi charge taking place on all the protesters. They want strong action against the perpetrator.
As a poster war brews between the Congress and the BJP in Karnataka, the BJP has launched
सभी को मेरा नमस्कार। दिल्ली में अरविंद केजरीवाल सरकार जो भी काम करती है उसकी मंशा उसमें बड़े भ्रष्टाचार की होती है। शराब के लाइसेंस, L1 लाइसेंस का कमीशन उन्होंने बढ़ाया, 12% किया और उसमें से 6% लिया। यहां भी 6% का खेल है। यहां उन्होंने 18% जो इंटरेस्ट लेट पेमेंट का देना था बिजली कंपनियों को, डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन कंपनी यानी दिल्ली सरकार को, जो दिल्ली सरकार की पावर डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन कंपनी है ट्रांसको और दिल्ली ट्रांसको लिमिटेड और इंद्रप्रस्थ पावर लिमिटेड, इन दोनों कंपनियों को, जो दिल्ली सरकार की कंपनियां हैं, उनको 18% अगर लेट पेमेंट होगा तो 18% उस पर इंटरेस्ट लगेगा। उसको घटा के 12% किया गया, यानी 6% कम किया गया। और वो पैसा जिसका कम हुआ वो किसका कम हुआ? दिल्ली सरकार का। जैसे शराब पॉलिसी में इन्होंने 12% किया था, जिसका 6% वो पैसा अपनी जेब में लेते थे, वो पैसा सरकार का कम हुआ। उसी तरह से इन्होंने 6% पैसा सरकार के खाते में कम आया। ये उसके गुनहगार हैं। और किसने किया ये करने वाले और नीतियां बनाने वाले अपने लोगों को वहां बिठाया गया। जिस बोर्ड में सरकारी आदमी होना चाहिए, जिस बोर्ड में कोई ऑफिसर होना चाहिए, उस बोर्ड में आम आदमी पार्टी के नेता जसमीन शाह जो प्रवक्ता है उनको बिठाया गया, केजरीवाल के राइट हैंड ने। उसमें आम आदमी पार्टी के राज्यसभा मेंबर एनडी गुप्ता जी के बेटे नवीन गुप्ता को बिठाया गया। क्यों बिठाया गया? इसलिए बिठाया गया कि आप जाइए और वहां जाके इनका लोन माफ करिए, इनका इंटरेस्ट माफ करिए और फिर चोर दरवाजे से उसमें से कमीशन लीजिए। ये मोडस ऑपेंडी, ये कार्य करने की नीति अरविंद केजरीवाल की अब स्पष्ट हो गई है कि अपने लोगों को उन जगह पर बिठाओ, आम आदमी पार्टी के लोगों को, और फिर वहां से जो मोटा माल हो वो कमीशन अपने पास ले आओ। जैसे इन्होंने 3239 करोड़ रुपए तुरंत माफ कर दिया। इसीलिए माफ किया कि भाई उसमें से उनको मिलने वाला है। अब सवाल है, जांच होगी कितना मिला, 20% मिला, 40% मिला, 60% मिला। लेकिन बिना कोई सेटिंग के 3239 करोड़ रुपए जो दिल्ली सरकार के खाते में आना था, उस पैसे को माफ करके दिल्ली सरकार ने एक बहुत बड़ा गुनाह किया है। और मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूं, बिजली के मुद्दे हमने कई बार उठाए हैं। दिल्ली में एक गंभीर मामला फिक्स चार्ज का है।
Jammu and Kashmir's Director General of Prisons, Hemant Lohia, was found murdered at his residence in Jammu, with police suspecting his domestic help as the main culprit. The servant in question is presently on the run.
Tractor trolley carrying pilgrims overturned in Khatampur area in Kanpur.
ये धमाका और जो पुल है वो ढह चुका है।
We are now seeing lathi charge taking place on all the protesters. They want strong action against the perpetrator.
As a poster war brews between the Congress and the BJP in Karnataka, the BJP has launched posters over Congress leader Siddaramaiah, having helped the PFI on previous occasions.
Time to once again action our destiny. Focus on mission superpower. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
Jammu and Kashmir's Director General of Prisons, Hemant Lohia, was found murdered at his residence in Jammu, with police suspecting his domestic help as the main culprit. The servant in question is presently on the run.
Tractor trolley carrying pilgrims overturned in Ghatampur area in Kanpur.
ये धमाका और जो पुल है वो ढह चुका है.
We are now seeing lathi charge taking place on all the protesters. They want strong actions against the perpetrator.
As a poster war brews between the Congress and the BJP in Karnataka, the BJP has launched posters over Congress leader Siddaramaiah having helped the PFI on previous occasions.
Time to once again action our destiny. Focus on mission superpower. Witness the India growth story. Republic Media Network brings you India's biggest economic summit.
Amit Shah kickstarts historic Kashmir visit. Hectic parlays lined up.
जब जब भारत पर खतरा आया, ये मेरे पहाड़ी भाई गुर्जर पकड़वाओ, चट्टान की तरह दीवार बनकर खड़े रहे.
Integrated, unity and nation first. Shah's big message resonates across the valley.
आज की ये रैली उन लोगों को जवाब है जो कहते थे धारा 370 जाएगी तो खून की नदियां बह जाएगी.
Big rallies, key meetings and mega projects. Amit Shah's big Kashmir visit now rattles Gupkar. As debate on freebies rages on, Election Commission asks political parties to make genuine promises. Ahead of KCR's National Party launch, TRS leaders seen distributing alcohol and live chicken. Avalanche reported in Uttarakhand, 8 rescued, 21 still feared trapped. Rescue operations underway. Good afternoon. As we begin this edition at 4 p.m., back-to-back incidents of communal violence that had flared up. Republic is now getting you a ground report from Savli in Gujarat, where communal clashes had erupted. What is the inside truth? Eyewitness accounts coming in.
पिछले 6 महीने में देखें तो 28 बार कम्युनल राइट हो चुके हैं. यहाँ पे छोटी मोटी घटना हो चुकी है और कितनी घटना तो ऐसी है जहाँ पे पुलिस स्टेशन में जाके दोनों पार्टी सामने बैठ के समाधान किया हुआ है. उन लोगों ने समाधान तो किया है, लेकिन इतना ज़्यादा हम देखें तो 100 से अधिक राइटिंग के गुने हुए हैं, लेकिन 28 उसमें पुलिस स्टेशन में दर्ज हुए हैं. तो यहाँ पर जो स्थानिक पटेल समाज और वणिक समाज है, उन्होंने 30% तो माइग्रेशन यहाँ से हो चुका है.
A lot of communal clashes that seem to be breaking out in the pockets of Gujarat. We are reporting on the ground here in Savli near Vadodara district, in fact, where we are reporting how there was a lot of clashes that had broken out. Thousands of people had come out on the streets, and now as a result of that, we are seeing 2 FIRs that have been registered, one against the people of the Hindu community and the other from the Muslim community as well. These 2 communities had come face to face and there was an issue that had broken out. Let's tell our viewers what exactly had happened. So what you see around me are a lot of poles here that have saffron flags, and what essentially had happened at one particular pole, as this one, what you see behind me, is the place where there was a saffron flag, and also there was people who had climbed on top of this pole and tried to put in a green flag as well. So that is why this entire issue had broken out, and the people had come face to face, and there were stone pelting as well that had broken out. There were thousands of people, in fact, who had come face to face, and stone pelting that had gone on day before yesterday's night is when this entire incident happened, and yesterday is when the police had taken cognizance of it. And what you also see is this particular area that is communally sensitive as well, because this is a temple that has been located, and right next to that is also a dargah. This is the place of Savli, and we see in the near the Savli police station as well that this dargah and this temple in fact had been located. And however, officials tell us that the entire place here has been communally, peacefully, harmoniously existing, but now we see that these kind of clashes that had broken out, and which is why the police has taken a swift action and has registered complaint from both the communities. At least 34 to 35 people from both the communities have been detained. Their complaint had also been registered.
Priyanka is now joining us live on the broadcast. Priyanka, we just saw your report. You've been on the ground interacting with a lot of people on who exactly was responsible for the provocation and how this erupted and escalated from there on. Really to get a sense of what is happening now, Priyanka, the investigation that is continuing, and even as most of these people are being questioned, who all have been held accountable?
Well, Suesha, we have been on the ground here in Savli for quite some time, and we've spoken to a lot of people here, the eyewitnesses and also some of the people who had been present there during the time that these clashes had been going on. And what we also heard those eyewitnesses talking about was how there have been several such clashes over the past 6 to 7 months that have been breaking out. And of course, authorities have also confirmed that because of the elections also coming by, there are several such people who are trying to instigate these kind of attacks as well. Remember, we saw these kind of clashes that had broken out day before yesterday in the wee hours of the night, when it was in fact regarding one of the flags that was being put on a pole near to the place where there is a temple and a dargah as well in the Savli city. And now we also see that just the day after that, there was a massive bike rally that had also been carried out by several organizations of religious communities, and they were of course also trying to politicize this entire issue, is what we were being given to understand, post which the police then also had to take cognizance of this entire issue and also register FIRs against the people who were on the ground creating this kind of an unrest, creating this kind of a law and order situation on the ground there in Savli. And now we see that the police in fact had also taken them into custody. They had been arrested. The people who had been on the ground creating these kind of clashes, at least 20 people and 20 people in one FIR and 25 in the other FIR had been arrested, and they have now been let go as well, since it was a bailable offence that had been registered of rioting against these people who had been on the ground creating this kind of a ruckus. But Suesha, you know, we need to at these instances take a step back and also analyze how there have been several such clashes, just like the one that took place in Savli, in certain areas of Gujarat. Specifically, if we talk about just last night, where a similar such incident had taken place in Kheda as well. That comes in the Anand district, and that there as well we had seen that this kind of a communal clash had broken out in another celebration of Navratri that was being carried out there in Kheda. When there were 2 to 3 people who had come there and tried to pelt stones and tried to shut down the celebrations as well. And of course, then we saw what had happened in Savli, subsequently there in Porbandar, in Dwarka, in Bharuch, all of these places where we see these kind of clashes that are breaking out. And of course, there are certain people who are trying to politicize that issue as well. And we see these kind of clashes that are breaking out. And of course, we are on the ground getting what exactly was happening. And what we saw was that several people had, of course, mobilized during the time that these clashes had taken place and tried to pelt stones, tried to in fact make this entire issue even bigger. is what the police has given us to understand. And the police had also stated and understood and accepted that it is obviously also because of the nearby elections that are coming up, because of which there are certain people in certain communities and organizations who are trying to create this kind of a situation on the ground as well. And that is exactly what happened in Savli, because we are the only channels on the ground getting you the truth about what had been going on. But the police, of course, is also on alert now. They're claiming that several more officials have been deployed, because this entire issue was happening because of a certain festival also coming up in a couple of days, because of which these flags were being tied to these poles. And the police has said that they will be carrying out more deployment of the authorities to make sure that the people feel the presence of the police, and they are also think twice before creating these kind of a law and order situation on the ground situation.
In fact, a couple of these points that you've mentioned, Priyanka, that I wanted to touch upon, but please hold on with us at the moment. Many other reports that you filed, let's play that out for our viewers, after which I come back to you.
We have now reached the exact spot where this entire clashes that had broken out, since there is a dargah and a temple that were nearby, and there was the question of the flag that was being tied to a pole, one of the Hindu community which was saffron in color, the other of the Muslim community that was green in color, and that is why this entire clashes had broken out to tie the flags. In fact, there is a procession that was is all set to be carried out by both the communities, which is why these decorations were being made. As you can see, these flags, in fact, even now that have been left intact, but we do see flags like these, in fact, that were being tried to be tied at a pole in those particular areas. And we do have several people, in fact, who had been present there, because as of now what we have seen is that there were people from both the communities that came face to face, and there were clashes that had broken out, stone pelting that had actually in fact also broken out between the two communities. The police has taken cognizance of this entire issue. 2 FIRs have been lodged with people of both the communities. They had been detained, they had been arrested.
Alright, shifting our focus to other top stories we are tracking this afternoon. Union Home Minister Amit Shah is on a historic visit to Jammu and Kashmir. Amit Shah visited and offered prayers at Vaishno Devi Shrine on the last day of Navratri in Jammu. Home Minister received a rousing welcome. Rally venue echoes with Modi chants. Home Minister Amit Shah sends out the biggest message from the centre, giving a befitting reply to naysayers. Amit Shah said that Kashmir has silenced all the critics today who claim that there would be a river of blood.
जो कहते थे धारा 370 जाएगी तो फिर पंजाब पर आग लग जाएगी। आज की ये रैली उन लोगों को जवाब है जो कहते थे धारा 370 जाएगी तो खून की नदियां बह जाएगी।
Amit Shah lauds the abrogation of Article 370, says the abrogation of Article 370 ensured development, normalcy and progress in the valley.
आज की ये रैली उन लोगों को जवाब है जो कहते थे धारा 370 जाएगी तो खून की नदियां बह जाएगी।
Union Home Minister launches big attack at Gupkar gang. Amit Shah said that earlier only 3 parties had democracy for themselves, but now the reign has shifted in the hands of 30,000 people of Jammu and Kashmir.
मोदी जी ने सबसे पहले पंचायत के चुनाव कराए और 19 के बाद तहसील पंचायत, जिला पंचायत के चुनाव कराए। मित्रों, आज जो पहले 3 परिवार के पास था, इसकी जगह आज 30,000 लोगों के पास
Union Home Minister said that in the leadership of Prime Minister Modi, there has been a curb on terror activities in the valley. He added that stone pelting has now stopped and instead tourism business has grown in the past few years.
आए दिन पथराव के समाचार अखबार में आप पढ़ते थे या नहीं पढ़ते थे? बोलो भाई, जोर से बोलो, सुना ही नहीं पड़ा? पढ़ते थे या नहीं पढ़ते थे? अब पथराव के समाचार आते हैं क्या? आते हैं क्या? मोदी जी ने युवाओं के हाथ से पत्थर लेकर लैपटॉप थमाने का काम किया है, नौकरी देने का काम किया है।
Home Minister Amit Shah assures says will work on the reservation quota for some communities.
धारा 370 को हटाने से यहाँ पिछड़ों को, दलितों को, आदिवासियों को और पहाड़ियों को अपना अधिकार मिलने वाला है।
And well, big breakthrough for Karnataka cops in the arrest of PFI leaders. Cops have now recovered the erased data from the phone and other gadgets. 90% of the data that has been recovered from their mobile phones, establishing an interstate link between PFI leaders. The PFI members had used an app to erase the mobile data. Rajwal will join us shortly to give us more details of what exactly has been recovered through this mobile data that has now been accessed by the Karnataka cops. This has led to some startling revelations in terms of the working